Chapter 1976. Xan Hai had already regained his senses. He looked at the pill in Hai Chiji's hand and asked, "Brother Li Tian, are you sure it's an ancient pill?" Li Tian was the great demon cultivator protector of the 80-mile city. He had a serious expression, as if he wasn't completely sure. "A long time ago, I came across an ancient abode by chance and obtained a shocking fortuitous encounter there. It was precisely because of this that I was able to obtain my current accomplishments. Moreover, the medicinal pill in Hai Chiji's hand emitted an aura similar to that of the ancient ruins. I'm guessing that it's most likely an ancient medicinal pill." Li Tian's words were very persuasive. At his level, there was no way his senses would be wrong. The ghost cultivator protector suddenly shot out a black mist that shrouded the sky. When the black mist formed, the cultivators on the square realized they couldn't use their spirit sense to scan it. The crowd was in an uproar. It was as if the ancient pill had disappeared. "Yin Fei, what are you doing?" Xan Hai asked coldly. Yin Fei's voice sounded like two pieces of metal rubbing against each other. Other than the three protectors in the black mist, no one else could hear him. "This is an ancient pill, and it's a spirit surge pill. Rumor has it that the spirit surge pill appeared in the North Sand continent 2 years ago. I didn't expect it to be true." Xan Hai and the other two were shocked. This was a bottle of spirit surge pill. Although they hadn't seen the spirit surge pill before, they knew what it was. Rumor had it that the spirit surge pill was a level 4 or level 6 golden pill, but its effects were amazing. It could allow cultivators without spirit roots to have any spirit roots. However, the recipe of the spirit surge pill had been lost for a long time. It hadn't even appeared in the East Field continent. Now, it was right in front of the four of them. This pill is a level 4 or level 6 golden pill. Could it really be a spirit surge pill? Hai Chiji's voice was trembling. As a cauldron-filling state cultivator, he rarely showed such a shocked expression. Although Hai Chiji's tone was questioning, he didn't need an answer. He was certain that the pill in his hand was the spirit surge pill. Xan Hai and the other two also realized this shocking fact and had their own thoughts. Since everyone has discovered that this is a spirit surge pill, then there's no need for us to hide it. The reason why I released the black fog poison field was to shield everyone's divine sense. After that, we'll split this bottle of spirit surge pills evenly with our 3 senior and junior brothers." Yin Fei expressed his stance. Hai Chiji immediately nodded and poured out all the spirit surge pills in the jade bottle, intending to split them evenly. Xan Hai was jolted back to his senses, and he immediately stopped him. "This is an item that the Starken Weapon Workshop put up for auction, and it has already been won by that independent cultivator. How can we split it? Isn't that breaking the rules of the 80-mile city?" "Brother Xinhai, this is a bottle of spirit surge pills." Yin Fei retorted, "Don't talk to me about the rules of the 80-mile city. The rules here were set by the 4 of us, so it's up to the 4 of us to decide what to do. For the past several hundred years, the 4 of us have been maintaining the peace and stability of the 80-mile city. Now that we have a bottle of spirit surge pills as a reward, what's wrong with that?" Hai Chiji also chimed in, "I agree with Brother Yin Fei's suggestion. We have worked hard to maintain the 80-mile city for several hundred years, so what's wrong with getting a bottle of spirit surge pills? Besides, other than the 4 of us, no one else knows that this is a spirit surge pill. Later, we can just return that independent cultivator's bid price to him and give the Starken Weapon Workshop a bottle of energy transformation pills, and this matter will be resolved." Xan Hai's expression was cold. He couldn't commit such a fraud. Li Tian, who had been silent all this while, suddenly spoke, "I agree with Xan Hai's suggestion. Our 80-mile city has been impartial for several hundred years. Now that our reputation has been ruined because of a bottle of spirit surge pills, it's not worth it. Yin Fei and Hai Chi-Ji's expressions darkened, and they didn't continue to split the spirit surge pills equally. Now that both sides had different opinions, the situation was in a stalemate. At this moment, the cultivators on the square were already in an uproar. They tried to use their divine senses to sweep into the black mist again and again, but they couldn't find anything. Some people started to shout the names of the 4 protectors, seeking an explanation, but no one answered them. Qin Fan also tried to use his divine sense to sweep into the black mist, but after his first failure, he didn't try a second time. When his divine sense touched the edge of the black mist, Qin Fan immediately understood what it was. It was extremely similar to the field that Senior Xin Hai had used when he visited the Autumn Leaf Pavilion 3 days ago. Qin Fan had seen Xin Hai's field before, so he was sure that it wasn't Xin Hai who had used this field. The black mist carried a familiar ghost cultivator aura, so Qin Fan guessed that it was the ghost cultivator who had used it. Since he had used the field, Qin Fan immediately understood the ghost cultivator's intention. That ghost cultivator had probably recognized the spirit surge pill and wanted to keep it for himself or share it with the other 3 protectors. However, even though he had guessed the ghost cultivator's intention, there was nothing he could do. After seeing the field, Qin Fan realized how powerful it was. It was an upgrade of the realm, and with his current cultivation, he couldn't break it at all. Boom. At this moment, a muffled sound came from the sky. The black mist quickly dissipated, and the clear blue sky once again appeared in front of everyone's eyes. The 4 protectors of the 80-mile city hovered in the air above their heads. Everyone immediately looked at Hai Chi-Ji's hand. When they saw that the ancient pill was still there, they relaxed. 4 protectors, what happened just now? Someone asked. Hai Chi-Ji and Yin Fei's faces were cold, as if they had encountered something very unpleasant. Li Tian stood in the air with an indifferent expression and didn't speak. In the end, it was Xin Hai who spoke. I'm sorry, everyone. Just now, we 4 protectors were studying that bottle of ancient pill. In the end, we came to the same conclusion. That bottle is indeed an ancient pill, and it's the long-lost spirit surge pill. The crowd was instantly excited. Spirit surge pill. What kind of pill is that? I remember now. 2 years ago, there was a rumor in the North Sand continent that the spirit surge pill had appeared. I thought it was just a gimmick from the North Sand continent, but it seems like it's true. The spirit surge pill is a miraculous pill that can help cultivators without spiritual roots grow any spiritual root they want. I can't believe we can still see such a miraculous pill in the divine world today. When someone mentioned the effects of the spirit surge pill, the entire square was in an uproar. The Xingquan faction's disciples were dumbfounded. Su Wumian's eyes were filled with shock. This bottle of spirit surge pill was auctioned under their Xingquan weapon workshop's name. It was supposed to be a bottle of transforming energy pills, so how did it suddenly turn into a spirit surge pill? Grand Elder Wu Mian, what's going on with that bottle of spirit surge pill? A disciple couldn't help but ask. How could Su Wumian answer that question? He wanted to find someone else to ask, but in the next moment, a look of panic appeared on his face, as if he realized something serious had happened. Not good. Someone is deliberately framing our Xingquan weapon workshop. The disciples had never seen Grand Elder Wu Mian in such a panic before, so they immediately became nervous. Grand Elder Wu Mian, what happened? Su Wumian scolded after regaining his composure. Which bastard put the spirit surge pill under our Xingquan weapon workshop's name for auction? Isn't this harming us? Everyone knows how precious the spirit surge pill is. Now that everyone knows that the Xingquan weapon workshop has the spirit surge pill, some people might even think that the pill recipe is in Xingquan faction. What kind of disaster do you think Xingquan faction will face? After hearing Su Wumian's words, the disciples all revealed a look of horror. If the South Flat State spread the news that the Shinkuan sect had the pill recipe for the Spirit Surge pill, in less than half a month, the huge 6-star sect would be razed to the ground. That's a bottle of Spirit Surge pill. Then what about my auction? The rogue cultivator who got the Spirit Surge pill didn't know whether to be happy or sad. Xan Hai spoke again. This is a bottle of Spirit Surge pill, but it was auctioned under the name of Transforming Energy pill. I think it's very likely that Shinkuan Weapon Workshop took the wrong pill, so this bottle won't count for now. We need to ask Shinkuan faction's opinion. Hundreds of thousands of eyes immediately looked in the same direction, where the Shinkuan faction disciples were standing. The disciples were trembling in fear. Even Su Wumian, who had stepped into the body condensation stage, felt he couldn't breathe. The cultivators on the square were like hungry wolves, ready to devour them at any moment. Where is the representative of Shinkuan faction? Come out and explain. Seeing that there was no movement, Xian Hai shouted again. Su Wumian could only bite the bullet and fly onto the auction stage. She said nervously, Shinkuan faction disciple Su Wumian greets the 4 great protectors of 80 Mile City. No need for formalities. What's with that bottle of Spirit Surge pill? Xian Hai asked. Subconsciously, Su Wumian wanted to say that this was not an item auctioned by the Shinkuan sect. But on second thought, this was a bottle of the long-lost ancient pill, the Spirit Charging pill. Every pill represented a chance for a cultivator without a spirit root to develop any spirit root. If it was taken back to the sect and given to some genius disciples, it would greatly increase the overall strength of the Shinkuan sect. A few decades later, the Shinkuan sect might become a 7-star sect of the South Flat Continent. Why aren't you talking? Xian Hai was getting impatient. Su Wumian woke up and immediately said, Xian Hai Sr., this bottle of Spirit Surge pill was a mistake. Shinkuan Weapon Workshop was going to auction the Energy Surge pill, but Disciple took the wrong one. If that's the case, then the decision is in your hands. You can sell the Spirit Charge pill to that wandering cultivator at the same price as before, or you can give him a new bottle of energy melting pills. Xian Hai's expression was one of anticipation. Su Wumian didn't need to make a decision. Everyone could guess that he would keep the Spirit Surge pill. As expected, Su Wumian cupped his fists at the sky and said, Xian Hai Sr., this time our Shinkuan Weapon Workshop was careless. To show our sincerity, I will give the lone cultivator a bottle of Energy Surge pill and give 1 million spirit stones to 80 Mile City. Xian Hai nodded and said, Good. 80 Mile City has always been fair. Since you took the wrong pill, you can change it. As for the 1 million spirit stones, you don't need to give it to 80 Mile City. Give it to that lone cultivator as compensation. Xian Hai's selfless way of doing things was praised by many cultivators. Su Wumian immediately took out a bottle of soul-melting pills from her storage ring and gave it to the rogue cultivator as well as 1 million spirit stones. Then she carefully took the Spirit Surge pill from Hai Chiji's hand and immediately threw it into her storage ring. Chapter 1977. Seeing a bottle of Spirit Surge pills fall into Su Wumian's hands, Hai Chiji and Yin Fei's faces froze. Elder Su Wumian, please wait. Junior has a few questions to ask. Su Wumian was about to leave the stage when Qin Feng's voice came from the crowd. Su Wumian saw Qin Feng and his face turned green. He and Qin Feng were mortal enemies. He didn't believe Qin Feng would ask any good questions. But Qin Feng's attitude was very sincere, so Su Wumian couldn't refuse or scold him in front of everyone. That would make him look like a gentleman. Ask whatever you want. I still have important matters to attend to, so I'll be leaving soon. Su Wumian acted like a senior. Qin Feng smiled. Elder Su Wumian, I'm very curious about your sect's Spirit Surge pill. Rumor has it that this pill's recipe has been lost for a long time. Where did you get it? This question touched everyone's heart. Hundreds of thousands of cultivators all stared at the stage. Su Wu Mian's palms were covered in cold sweat. He knew Qin Feng wouldn't ask any good questions. If he knew this earlier, he wouldn't care about his dignity and just left. But it was too late now. Su Wu Mian realized that if he didn't give everyone a satisfactory answer, he wouldn't be able to leave here in one piece. The Spirit Surge pill was found by our sect leader by chance in a cave dwelling in an ancient ruin. Originally, I planned to show it to everyone at the auction and had no intention of auctioning it. Unexpectedly, a disciple of the sect was careless and mistook the Spirit Surge pill for the Yuan Transformation pill and auctioned it off. This has brought inconvenience to everyone, please forgive me. Su Wu Mian was obviously an old fox. He made up a lie right away. Many cultivators believed him, but Qin Feng sneered inside. That Spirit Surge pill was clearly auctioned by him under the name of Xing Kun Smith Workshop. What ancient cave dwelling? It was all bullshit. Oh. Where is that ancient cave dwelling? There should be a lot of treasures in there, right? Qin Feng continued to ask. The crowd on the square was boiling. An ancient ruin cave abode was a fortuitous encounter that everyone yearned for. Many famous mighty figures in the South Flat Continent had encountered an ancient ruin cave abode when they were young. The fiendish cultivator protector Li Tian, who was floating in the air, was one of them. Su Wumian felt even more guilty. How could there be an ancient cave dwelling? This was all a lie he made up on the spot. However, he had already said it, so there was no reason for him to take it back. Otherwise, the matter of the Spirit Surge pill would definitely be exposed. Cough cough. As we all know, the Immortal's cave abode in the ancient ruins is something that can only be discovered by luck. How can I casually reveal such a place? Moreover, my sect leader has never mentioned the location of the Immortal's cave abode in front of me. I don't even know where it is. This explanation was reasonable, and the square was filled with sighs of despair. So it's like that. Qin Feng thought for a while. Su Wumian thought he had nothing else to ask. Just as he wiped the sweat off his forehead, Qin Feng continued, but I saw that the bottle of Spirit Surge pill wasn't formed that long ago. It's at most 2 years old. How could it be from an ancient ruin cave abode? This question hit the nail on the head. The cultivators on the square immediately reacted. When they thought back to the Spirit Surge pill they saw before, they were sure that it wasn't that old. In terms of observation of the Spirit Surge pill, the 4 great protectors of the 80-mile city had the most detailed observation. Especially Hai Qiji. He had personally grabbed the bottle of Spirit Surge pill and examined it closely for a long time. When Qin Feng pointed out his suspicions, Hai Qiji's expression changed drastically. He was sure that the bottle of Spirit Surge pill was only 2 years old. From the looks of it, Xing Kun Sect's Grand Elder Su Wumian was lying. Su Wumian immediately felt countless divine sense sweep over his body. It felt like he was stripped naked and being stared at by hundreds of thousands of people. Among these divine senses were a large number of Saint Kings and Buddha-light ants. Normally, if these kinds of ants dared to use their divine sense to look at his body, he would have slapped them to death. You don't talk nonsense. That bottle of Spirit Surge pill was found by the sect head in an ancient ruin cave abode. Su Wumian glared at Qin Feng angrily. If looks could kill, Qin Feng would have died 1,000 times already. Qin Feng acted like he didn't know anything and said, "As for the age of that bottle of Spirit Surge pill, I think anyone with a discerning eye can see something fishy. I don't understand what Grand Elder Su Wumian is trying to hide by lying. Could it be that the Spirit Surge pill wasn't found in the ancient cave abode? Then where did it come from?" Su Wumian was speechless. How would he know where that bottle of spirit surge pills came from? He only knew which crazy cultivator was auctioning the spirit surge pill in the name of the Xing Kuan weapon workshop. Seeing that Su Wumian didn't reply, the crowd began to discuss. Looks like the spirit surge pill really wasn't found in the ancient ruin cave abode. Rumor has it that 2 years ago, the spirit surge pill appeared in the North Sand continent. The age of that spirit surge pill is just right. Could it be that the Xing Kuan sect bought it from the North Sand continent? Perhaps the rumor of the spirit surge pill appearing in the North Sand continent is true, but the spirit surge pill would never reach the South Flat continent. Such a miraculous pill must be in short supply in the North Sand continent. Why would the people there be willing to sell it to the South Flat continent? I know. Could it be that the Xing Kuan sect obtained the pill recipe for the spirit surge pill? That bottle of spirit surge pill was made by them. The imagination of hundreds of thousands of cultivators was heaven-defying. Very soon, someone said what Qin Feng was thinking. The reason why Qin Feng went through so much trouble to auction the spirit surge pill in the name of the Xing Kuan weapon workshop was to make the Xing Kuan weapon workshop fall into the water and make everyone suspect that the Xing Kuan sect was secretly hiding the pill recipe. Now that he had achieved his goal, Qin Feng believed that even if he didn't do anything to the Xing Kuan sect in the future, there would be other sects, people who would cause trouble for the Xing Kuan sect. Don't talk nonsense. This bottle of spirit surge pill was really found by the sect leader in the ancient cave abode, TSK. The crowd snorted. Su Wumian's eyes were about to pop out. She had no choice but to shout, "All right, I admit that the spirit surge pill doesn't belong to the Xing Kuan sect. I wonder who auctioned this bottle under the name of the Xing Kuan weapon workshop. I hope that cultivator can step forward and seek justice for the Xing Kuan sect." This was definitely not an era for telling the truth, whether it was on Earth or the Divine Supreme Mainland. Do you think we're idiots? Who would auction such a valuable spirit surge pill under someone else's name? Isn't that crazy? Grand Elder Wu Mian, there's no need to quibble. The more you explain, the more it shows that you're guilty. I think there's an 80% chance that your sect obtained the pill formula for the spirit surge pill. This pill formula can benefit all the cultivators of the South Flat continent. Your sect is a 6-star sect after all, so you should be impartial and announce the pill formula to the public. No wonder the Xing Kuan sect has been developing so quickly in recent years. It's almost catching up to a 7-star sect. So it's because they secretly hid the pill recipe. Chapter 1978. Su Wumian wanted to cry but no tears came out. If only Xing Kuan sect had the recipe for the spirit surge pill. Why would he be tricked by a mere bottle of spirit surge pill? At this moment, Su Wumian hated the bastard who used the Xing Kuan smith workshop to auction the spirit surge pill. If he knew his identity, he would definitely kill him. However, now was not the time to talk about revenge. The most important thing was to clear up everyone's misunderstanding of Xing Kuan sect. But Su Wumian knew that no matter how he explained, no one would believe him. Senior Xian Hai, Xing Kuan sect still has some business to take care of. I must return to the sect immediately. Su Wumian planned to take the spirit surge pill and run. Yin Fei and Hai Qiji stared at him coldly like he was a piece of fat meat that was about to fly away. Xian Hai's expression remained calm as he waved his hand and said, "Whether you stay or leave is your own choice. The 4 protectors of the 80-mile city will not force you to stay." Su Wumian sighed in relief. He wasn't afraid of the hundreds of thousands of cultivators on the square, he was more worried that the protectors of the 80-mile city would target the spirit surge pill. This was the territory of the 80-mile city. If Xian Hai and the other protectors wanted the spirit surge pill, Su Wumian wouldn't be able to resist. "Apologies fellow cultivators, I'll be leaving first." Su Wumian clasped his hands and disappeared on his flying sword. He didn't plan on leaving the 80-mile city right away. He wanted to send the news of the spirit surge pill back to Xing Kuin's sect and wait for the sect leader's arrangements. Su Wumian's departure caused a wave of sighs in the square. This meant that a bottle of spirit surge pill had flown away just like that. The auction continued as normal. However, many cultivators were still immersed in the excitement of the spirit surge pill and didn't care about the items being auctioned. This was what Qin Feng wanted to achieve. Even though he was at Nihility God Realm Level 3, he wasn't confident that he could take on Xing Kuin's Sept, the Immortal Gourd, and the dominating Heaven Furnace Trading Company at the same time. Plus, he had to bring his father and grandfather with him. Now that the news of Xing Kuin's sect hiding the spirit surge pill had spread like wildfire, Su Wumian was under a lot of pressure. He couldn't even take care of his own matters. How could he have the time to deal with Qin Feng? As such, Qin Feng's only enemies were the Celestial Gourd and the dominating Heaven Furnace firm. As for Mu Feng and Mu He and the Immortal Gourd, he wasn't afraid of them. The dominating Heaven Furnace firm would at most send out Kilio and Hai Meng, but they wouldn't be able to threaten Qin Feng. Qin Feng didn't have much hope for the large auction in the 80-kilometer city. Just as he was about to sneak away, the spirit-seeking bug in the system gave off a strong response. Little pig, what treasure did the spirit-seeking bug find? Qin Feng immediately stopped. After several treasure hunts, he was already very optimistic about the spirit-seeking bug's treasure hunting ability. Even the Mountain of Life was sensed by the spirit-seeking bug. I don't know exactly what treasure it is, but judging from the spirit-seeking bug's intense reaction, it should be a very powerful treasure, Little Pig said excitedly. Qin Feng immediately looked in the direction the spirit-seeking bug was sensing. His gaze fell on the auction stage. At this moment, a new item was pushed onto the stage. It was a long and wide ruler. The ruler was made of some unknown material. It was jet black and looked like a piece of broken stone. The treasure sensed by the spirit-seeking bug was that broken stone. What the hell is this? Why is a broken stone being auctioned? What a waste of everyone's time. How many items are there in the 80-kilometer city's auction? Is there a treasure more amazing than the spirit charging pill? The following items are all personal items. I don't think there will be any treasures. Everyone, let's go. The stone was placed on the display shelf, causing everyone to ridicule it. Director Huot said with an awkward expression, "Everyone, please calm down." This item was put up for auction by a wandering cultivator. According to the registration information, that wandering cultivator doesn't know what it is. It might be a rare treasure. The starting price is 100,000 high-quality spirit stones. Each increment must be no less than 10,000 spirit stones. When it came to rare treasures, everyone naturally understood. Rare treasures were like miraculous pills. They were rare treasures. However, true rare treasures were very difficult to distinguish. It was possible that you wouldn't recognize it even if it was placed in front of you. Every year in the 80-kilometer city, there would be some wandering cultivators who put up rare treasures for auction. They didn't even know what those items were. They just came to try their luck. Maybe some powerful cultivators would recognize it and buy it at a high price. In the beginning, when rare treasures were put up for auction, everyone fought fiercely. However, after a few years of auction, everyone found that many of those so-called rare treasures were useless. Therefore, the popularity of rare treasures gradually died down. Now, the starting price of rare treasures was only 100,000 spirit stones. When Director Huot shouted the starting price, the square became unusually quiet. Any previous auction item would attract many cultivators to bid for it. However, at this time, no one wanted the stone on the stage. Using such a rare treasure to cheat people? Do you think we're stupid? What the hell is that thing? It looks like a ruler, but it's made of stone. What can it be used for? It can't even chop firewood. Director Hua, let's move on to the next auction item. No one will want this broken stone. The square was filled with shouts. Director Hua's face was full of embarrassment. Just as he was about to change the next item, a sudden voice came from the crowd, 110,000 spirit stones. Hundreds of thousands of gazes swept towards the source of the voice. They wanted to see which idiot cultivator wanted to spend 100,000 spirit stones to buy a broken stone. When they saw the face of the cultivator who shouted the bid, many people came to a sudden realization. The one who called out the bid was the young cultivator who had bid against the immortal gourd for 88 cultivation furnaces not long ago. Later, he had even publicly questioned the Grand Elder of Star Kuin's sect about the Spirit Surge pill. In the eyes of everyone, these two actions were very idiotic. He had offended two 6-star sects for no reason. Many cultivators had long suspected that there was something wrong with Qin Fen's brain. Seeing that it was him who stood up to shout the price, it was understandable. Qin Fen couldn't be bothered with everyone's discussion. He was worried about another matter. Although he couldn't see what the stone was, since the spirit-seeking bug showed such a strong reaction, it meant that it was a rare treasure. Qin Fen was afraid that some almighty would also see the treasure. If there was really a cauldron-filling state almighty who jumped out to bid, Qin Fen wondered if he should withdraw. However, after a while, he realized that he seemed to be thinking too much. There were no other cultivators who were interested in that broken stone with the shape of a ruler. Is there anyone else who wants to bid for this treasure? Don't be fooled by its appearance. It looks just like a broken stone. Maybe there is an unknown treasure hidden inside. Director Hua tried to confuse the crowd again. After all, the final price of 110,000 spirit stones was too low. Not to mention the fact that the 80-mile city basically wouldn't get any money, just the news of it would be embarrassing enough. However, his words were useless. Most of the cultivators in the square had come to the 80-mile city's auction before. Director Hua also said the same thing in the previous auctions. He didn't even change his words, 120,000 high-grade spirit stones. However, just as Director Hua was about to close the deal, another voice suddenly came out. Everyone immediately looked over and saw that it was Tyrannical Furnace Firm's Curio who was bidding. Not long ago, Tyrannical Furnace Firm sold the 88 human furnaces for 100 million high-grade spirit stones and 3 low-grade true artifacts. It could be said that they made a lot of money. After that, Mu Feng and Mu He tried to bargain with Curio but were mercilessly rejected. When Qin Fen saw Curio come out to bid, he immediately understood the other party's intention. With Curio's experience, it was impossible for him to recognize the mystery of the stone. Moreover, he deliberately increased the price by 10,000 spirit stones. This was clearly going against him. Qin Fen knew that if he increased the price again, the other party would also increase the price. He had used this trick on Mu He and Mu Feng not long ago, but he didn't expect that he would be counterattacked. However, he couldn't back down. Otherwise, he might miss out on a treasure. After some careful consideration, Qin Fen shouted again, "I didn't expect Tyrannical Furnace Firm's Elder Curio to also have his eyes on this treasure. However, I advise you to withdraw as soon as possible because I am determined to obtain this treasure." Curio was furious in front of everyone. "Yuan cultivator, do you know how to speak? This old man's name is Curio, don't call me that if you don't know me." Qin Fen was deliberately angering him to make him lose his mind. As if he couldn't see the other party's anger, he laughed and said, "Elder Curio, why are you so angry? Of course I know your name is Curio, but don't you think it's very intimate for me to call you Curio?" Curio. A burst of laughter came from the square. "You aunt, besides being good at arguing, what other skills do you have? This old man is too lazy to talk nonsense with you." Are you going to increase the price or not? Kirio was angry. Qin Fen looked at him with a smile and said, "Of course I will increase the price. I just said that this treasure is a peerless treasure. No matter how much you increase it, I will accompany you to the end. How about this? Not long ago your tyrannical furnace firm made a lot of money. Let's play a bit bigger and increase the price by 10 million spirit stones. How about it? I bid 10 million high-grade spirit stones." When Qin Fen's words fell, the square burst into an uproar. Everyone had seen rich cultivators, but they had never seen a cultivator as rich as Qin Fen. In the eyes of everyone, Qin Fen couldn't even be described as rich. This guy spending 10 million spirit stones to buy a broken stone was simply an idiotic action. When the bid of 10 million was shouted, Qin Fen looked at Kirio with a playful expression. However, Kirio's expression became even more proud as he faced the sky and laughed. "Ha! Surnamed Qin grandson, do you really think this old man is an idiot? You want to bid 10 million for a broken stone? Are you out of your mind? Since you have so much money, this old man will let you have it. That broken stone is yours. Ha ha ha." So it turned out that Kirio deliberately dug a pit for Qin Fen. This trick was exactly the same as when Qin Fen cheated the immortal gourd. However, Qin Fen was sneering in his heart. How could he not see through Kirio's thoughts? He deliberately raised the price of the stone from 100,000 to 10 million just to trick Kirio into leaving. To any cultivator in the square, spending 10 million spirit stones to buy a piece of trash was absolutely an idiotic action. However, only Qin Fen firmly believed that spending 10 million spirit stones was worth it. Let alone 10 million, if Kirio still wanted to increase the price, Qin Fen would definitely fight to the end. Chapter 1979. Kirio was still laughing non-stop as if he had just eaten a fart. He had suffered many losses in Qin Feng's hands these past few days. Now that he thought he had cheated Qin Feng, he became complacent. "Elder Kirio, don't laugh yourself to death. Isn't it just 10 million spirit stones? Is there a need to be so exaggerated?" Qin Feng realized that the wondrous stone was in his hands and was in a good mood. Kirio's face turned cold, but he quickly revealed a playful smile. "Grandson surnamed Qin, don't pretend to be calm. No one would feel good after being cheated of 10 million spirit stones. Just treat this as me teaching you a lesson. Learn from your mistakes and don't be such an idiot in the future." Qin Fen said indifferently. According to what Elder Gigi said, the two elders of the Immortal Gourd spent 100 million upper-grade spirit stones and 3 low-grade true artifacts to buy 88 cultivation furnaces. Shouldn't they be committing suicide now? You said I'm an idiot, that means the two elders of the Immortal Gourd are worse than idiots. Kirio almost spat out a mouthful of blood. He angrily roared, "Surnamed Qin, don't slander me. When did I say the Immortal Gourd elders are worse than idiots? Although you didn't say it, that's what you think in your heart. Bullshit. This old man is an upright person. How could I speak ill of others behind their backs?" Kirio's face turned red because he really thought that way. Originally, the discussion was about Qin Fen spending 10 million spirit stones to buy a useless rock. However, Elder Immortal Gourd was somehow involved. At this time, Mu He and Mu Feng were still standing in the plaza. They were planning to target Qin Fen and take their revenge. In the end, they almost fainted from anger when they heard Qin Feng and Kirito describe them as worse than idiots. "Elder Kirio, don't say any more. Our Immortal Gourd is no longer in contact with the dominating Heaven Furnace Trading Company. Is it fun to slander us behind our backs?" Mu Feng could no longer hold back the anger in his heart and roared. Kirio was at a loss. It was clearly Qin Feng who brought up the previous matter. What did it have to do with him? "Elder Mu Feng, don't fall into that surnamed Sheen's trap again. He's obviously trying to sow discord between us. From the beginning to the end, I've never said that you're worse than an idiot. Kiryu said angrily. Mufong gritted his teeth and a violent surge of true essence surged from his body. However, he did not dare to make a move because he was within 80 kilometers of the city. I told you to shut up. Let's not bring up the past. Let's mind our own business from now on. Seeing Mufang's vile attitude, how could Kiryu swallow it? He roared, if you don't want to interact with us, then don't. With your intelligence, do you think our dominating Heaven Furnace trading firm wants to have a deep relationship with you? You. A mouthful of blood surged up Mufang's throat, but he forcefully swallowed it back down. Seeing that the two of them were about to fight, a violent true essence suddenly fell from the sky. In midair, that true essence automatically separated and crashed into Mufong and Kiryu's bodies. Two loud sounds seemed to explode at the same time. Mufong flew backwards and spat out a mouthful of blood. Kiryu flew even further and didn't stand up for a long time. You've broken the rules of 80 kilometers of the city time and time again. Do you really think that us four protectors don't exist? Xanhai's cold voice resounded, making it hard for the crowd to breathe. For a moment, the crowd was shocked. That dominating Heaven Furnace trading firm's Kiryu was a Nihility God stage-level 3 demon cultivator. The great elder of the immortal gourd, Mufong, was rumored to have stepped into the body condensation realm. Yet, these two powerful beings were as weak as ants in front of Xanhai. Senior Xanhai, please calm your anger. This junior was reckless. This junior will retreat now. Mufong didn't dare to have any resentment. He didn't even care about his injuries as he started to plead. Kiryu forced himself to climb up and bowed 90 degrees. Kiryu knows his mistake. I hope Senior Xanhai will show mercy. Xanhai didn't have any killing intent. Otherwise, the two of them would have already died. How would he have the chance to plead? Retreat immediately. Don't be an eyesore. Just as Xanhai finished speaking, Kiryu and Mufong immediately retreated. Director Ho woke up and quickly mediated. Young hero Qin has bid 10 million spirit stones to buy the treasure. Is there anyone else? After waiting for a while, no one called out a price. Director Ho made the final decision. Congratulations, young hero Qin. You've won a treasure. Please go to the back and handle the handover procedures. Qin Feng heaved a sigh of relief when he finally got the strange stone. He immediately rushed to the place where the handover procedures were handled and took out 10 million upper-grade spirit stones to exchange for the strange stone. The stone was in the shape of a long and wide ruler. It was about 1.5 meters long. It was unknown what material it was made of, but it was extremely heavy. Even when Qin Fen grabbed the stone for the first time, he didn't manage to lift it. He had to use his true energy again to barely lift the stone. The spirit-seeking bug responded even more strongly in his mind. Even Little Pig was extremely excited. However, the two of them didn't know the origin of the stone. They just felt that it was not simple. Qin Feng could only find a corner with fewer people to study it. When he used his divine sense to scan the stone, he found that the stone seemed to be boundless. The end of his divine sense was just darkness. He couldn't see the end. That dark realm was very magical. It gave Qin Feng a mysterious and strange feeling. It was as if he had never been to that place before. It really is a treasure. Although he still didn't know the origin of the stone, Qin Feng realized that it was unusual. He also found that there was a seal engraved on the stone. The level of the seal was extremely high. With his current formation skills, he couldn't understand it. However, the seal had been sealed for a long time. He could use refining methods to gradually refine the seal. Unfortunately, Qin Feng's refining skills were very ordinary. He couldn't help but think that it was time to study refining knowledge. After fiddling with it for a while, Qin Feng put the strange stone away. He was in a very dangerous situation right now. It wasn't the time to study the strange stone. He named this strange stone Zhangqi. This stone was obtained in the 80-mile city near Tsang Island. It looked like a ruler, so it was named Zhangqi after the auction. A few more treasures appeared that attracted the crowd. However, none of them caught Qin Feng's attention. When the auction ended, Qin Feng didn't go to the inn to find his father and grandfather. Because he suddenly obtained the Zhangqi, he changed his plan. He planned to go to Tsang Island alone to participate in the Sword Realm competition. After the competition, he would come back to pick up his father and grandfather. Qin Feng made this decision after careful consideration. Although no one else bid against him for the Zhangqi other than Kirito, who could be sure that no one else had discovered the secret of the Zhangqi. After all, there were hundreds of thousands of cultivators gathered in the 80-mile city. Among them, there was no lack of body condensation or even cauldron-filling state cultivators. Could it be that those cauldron-filling state cultivators didn't notice anything fishy? Qin Feng took advantage of the chaos to find Xinhai. He promised Xinhai that he would meet him at the Sword Mountain in a month and challenge the Sword Realm on behalf of Xinhai's disciples. So, Qin Feng didn't need to be polite with Xinhai. He went straight to the point. Qianbei, I will definitely appear at the Sword Mountain in a month. However, I still have things to take care of during this time. I hope can help me take care of my father and grandfather. Xanhai had met Qin Emperor and Qin Shitian in the dominating Heaven Furnace Trading Company, but he didn't know the relationship between them and Qin Feng until now. He couldn't help but feel puzzled. Qin Feng had reached the peak stage of the real spirit realm at such a young age, so why was his father and grandfather so weak that they hadn't even broken through the Buddha light? He didn't ask and said firmly, "Go in peace. With me at the 80-mile city, no one will dare to bully your family." After a pause, Xinhai added, "After you leave the 80-mile city, be careful of the Celestial Gourd people." Even if Xinhai didn't remind him, Qin Feng knew that Mu He and Mu Feng wanted to kill him. He cupped his hands at Xinhai to express his gratitude and left the 80-mile city immediately. Because the auction had just ended, countless cultivators left the 80-mile city. Qin Feng could even see many flying swords and flying artifacts flying past him after flying for dozens of miles. He didn't care about others, even Mu He and Mu Feng temporarily. His divine sense covered the area 10 miles around him, searching for cultivators with powerful divine senses. In the beginning, he could still sense a few cultivators above the body condensation realm following him. But gradually, those powerful cultivators disappeared. Now, there were no real powerful cultivators following him. Qin Feng didn't dare to be careless. He increased his speed and flew for hundreds of miles. During this time, there was no powerful divine sense. It seemed that there were no powerful cultivators following him. Qin Feng let out a sigh of relief. He realized that he might have worried too much. It seemed that no one had discovered the secret of Zhangqi, otherwise, those powerful cultivators would have followed him. After flying for half a day, there were very few cultivators around. The scenery around him changed from a wilderness to a lush green forest. According to the map, Qin Feng flew for another 50 miles in the northwest direction and officially entered the Tsang Island. Qin Feng put away his flying sword and landed in a forest. He stood there with his hands behind his back as if he was waiting for someone. In less than half an hour, a large flying ship landed in the forest. A group of cultivators wearing gourd robes came down from the flying ship. "Qin Feng. Let's see where you can run to now." Mu He cursed as soon as he got off the flying ship. It was clear that he hated Qin Feng very much. Mu Feng stood under the flying ship and didn't say anything. His face was even worse than Mu He's. As for the 6 gourd disciples that followed him, they rushed to Qin Feng and surrounded him. I was wondering why I felt that there were a few stray dogs chasing me. So it's you guys. Qin Feng's expression didn't change in the face of the disciples. Mu He gritted his teeth and shouted, "You're just an ant. How dare you be so stubborn in the face of death? I advise you to hand over 100 million spirit stones and 3 low-grade true weapons. If I'm in a good mood, I might spare your life." It seemed that Mu He and Mu Feng had been cheated by the auction. Otherwise, they wouldn't have mentioned the spirit stones first. They would have killed Qin Feng without hesitation. P.S. I haven't asked for monthly votes for a long time. This month, I'm going to rush to the monthly votes list. Those who like this book, please support me. Use your most beautiful gesture to throw the monthly votes at me. Thank you very much. Chapter 1980. Qin Feng looked at Mu He as if he was looking at an idiot. Who do you think you are? How dare you threaten me? Mu He was stunned and couldn't understand what was going on. He couldn't understand where Qin Feng got his confidence from. He was just a true spirit cultivator. Even if he could kill Mu Jingyi, who was at the peak stage of the true spirit realm, he couldn't possibly fight a void god stage powerhouse. Moreover, senior brother Mu Feng was at the body condensation stage. Before Mu He could make a move, Mu Feng suddenly said, "You're at the peak stage of the true spirit realm at such a young age. I heard from junior brother Mu He that you killed Mu Jingyi's disciple in an instant. You must be a genius. The cultivation level of the South Flat Continent is much lower than that of the West Sea Continent and Eastfield Continent. It would be a pity to see a genius like you die." Mu He looked at his senior brother in surprise, not understanding what he was trying to say. Qin Feng couldn't understand his senior brother's thoughts, but he knew that he and the Celestial Gourd had developed to the point where their feud couldn't be resolved. How could Mu Feng suddenly change for the better? He simply kept silent and waited for the other party to reveal his foxtail. Mu Feng put on the demeanor of an expert and continued, "My Celestial Gourd is one of the rare 6-star sects in the South Flat Continent. Do you have any thoughts of joining us?" The 6 Celestial Gourd disciples were shocked. They even suspected that Elder Mu Feng's brain wasn't working. Mu He said anxiously, "Senior brother, that ant killed our disciple. How can we let him go? You want to take him in as a disciple?" Mu Feng glared at Mu He but didn't say anything. He looked at Qin Feng and continued, "What do you think of my suggestion? If you join the Celestial Gourd, you'll be nurtured with endless cultivation resources and your cultivation will increase rapidly." The Celestial Gourd disciples were speechless. There was clearly something fishy about the enemy suddenly throwing out all sorts of bait. Qin Feng wasn't a fool and wouldn't be tricked by Mu Feng's flowery words. "Don't try to fool me, you dog. Do you think I'm a 3-year-old? Mu Feng suppressed his anger but pretended to be calm. He indeed didn't want to take Qin Feng in as a disciple. He suddenly had a new plan. Not long ago, Xinkuan sect Su Wumian recognized Qin Feng at the auction and almost fought him. Earlier, the Xinkuan sect had issued a citywide wanted order in the Pan Shan market, offering a high bounty for a cultivator. This matter had spread like wildfire, so Mu Feng had naturally heard of it. Mu Feng keenly captured that Qin Feng was a wanted person by the Xinkuan sect. Rumor had it that the Xinkuan sect wanted Qin Feng because of a key that could open the Mountain of Life. Looking at how Qin Feng had reached the peak of the true spirit realm at such a young age and was extremely wealthy, Mu Feng was even more certain that Qin Feng had obtained the key and could even open the door of life. "Young hero Qin, you misunderstand. I sincerely want to take you as my disciple. Mu Feng had a kind expression on his face. Perhaps killing a peak true spirit disciple is a big deal in your and Muhi's eyes, but it's nothing much in my eyes. At my level, I hope to see the South Flat Continent cultivators unite and raise their cultivation level to the same level as the West Sea Continent or even the Eastfield Continent. Disciple Mu Jingyi can't come back to life. Revenge breeds revenge. If you agree to come back to the Celestial Gourd sect with me, we'll write off all our grievances. You just need to cultivate in the Celestial Gourd, strengthen the Celestial Gourd sect, and contribute to the prosperity of the South Flat Continent. Mu Feng said that he cared about the world. He was on a completely different level. However, when the same words came out of Mu Feng's mouth, Qin Fan felt that it was extremely awkward. However, when it came out of the mouths of Daoist Barefoot and Xian Hai, Qin Fan felt admiration for them. Senior brother, you. He was about to go crazy. Before he could finish his sentence, he was severely interrupted by Mu Feng. Shut up. Do you know why your cultivation hasn't improved? It's because your state of mind hasn't transcended the ordinary. When you have my state of mind, you won't need to cultivate hard and your cultivation will naturally increase. He. Young hero Qin, what do you think? Mu Feng looked at Qin Feng again and his expression became calm like a chameleon. Qin Feng sneered in his heart but pretended to be serious. It's not impossible to join the Celestial Gourd. Mu He and the 6 disciples gritted their teeth. Mu Feng was secretly delighted. Then young hero Qin agrees. How about you come back to the sect with us now? There's no hurry. If you want me to join the Celestial Gourd, you must first acknowledge me as your master. Kowtow and acknowledge me as your master now. Qin Feng smiled. Mu Feng was stunned. When he regained his senses, his expression turned cold. Qin, don't refuse a toast only to drink a forfeit. You're right. I like to drink forfeit. Stop putting on an act. Are you trying to trick me? You're still too inexperienced. Realizing that Qin Feng had been teasing him, Mu Feng could no longer suppress the anger in his heart. He roared, "Little ant, I wanted you to tell me the secret of the gate of life. Since you don't want to cooperate, then die." Violent true essence surged from Mu Feng's body. He struck out with his palm and a huge true essence hand appeared in the air. Qin Feng already knew that this old man was scheming, but he didn't expect him to guess the secret of him going to the Mountain of Life. The matter of the Mountain of Life was very important. Once the news spread, Qin Feng would be chased to the ends of the earth by countless cultivators. Boom! However, before Mu Feng struck out, Qin Feng had already prepared himself. Several silver lights flashed and brought about a violent sound. The bodies of the 6 Celestial Gourd disciples that surrounded Qin Feng exploded. They didn't even understand the situation before they died. The dragon trembling spear killed 6 venerable true spirit masters in one strike. However, Qin Feng felt that it was strenuous for him to even look at the disciples. His hand didn't stop as he stabbed the spear at the stunned Mu He. The silver light shot out like a rain of arrows into the sky. By the time Mu He woke up, his body had already been enveloped by the explosion of true essence. He immediately took out a defensive treasure and put on a defensive armor, but the violent explosion sounded out one after another in his ears. The spear light seemed to be invincible, easily breaking through all the obstacles and finally breaking through his body. "You dare!" Mu Feng roared angrily, but it was too late. The ferocious true essence collided with Mu He's body. His body instantly exploded into pieces. Even the 4 clones that were fleeing in panic couldn't escape and were scattered by the aftermath of the explosion. Qin Feng killed 7 people with one strike, including a Nihility God stage level 4 venerable true spirit master. All of this happened in the blink of an eye. When Qin Feng's spear landed on Mu He's head, the true essence hand that Mu Feng had created also landed on the forest. The trees within 100 meters radius collapsed, creating a huge crater. Qin Feng didn't have time to dodge and was slammed into the deep crater. Mu Feng looked at the scene of blood flowing like a river. He couldn't even see the figures of his junior brother and the 6 disciples anymore. He was instantly enraged and spat out a few mouthfuls of blood. And with the surname Qin, this old man wants you to die a horrible death. The gigantic palm print floated into the air once again, like a meteorite falling rapidly into the pit. The palm print rapidly expanded as it fell, eventually covering the entire pit like a huge cloud falling down. True essence shot out in all directions. The power of a body condensation stage powerhouse exceeded Qin Feng's expectations. This was a completely different concept from a nihility god stage cultivator. The true essence became incomparably pure and the attack it formed was almost tangible. The hidden power seemed to be able to destroy the heavens and earth. Everywhere it went, an aura of death rose. Just as the true essence hand was about to fall, numerous black lights shot out from the cracks. There were originally only a few black lights, but they quickly broke through the true essence hand print and formed thousands of black lights that soared into the sky. The black lights contained a strange magnetic field that instantly froze the surrounding air. The rapidly falling palm print finally stopped and floated above the crater, forming a rare and spectacular scene. You've comprehended the realm. How is this possible? Mu Feng's eyes were filled with shock. He even forgot about the attack in his hand. Qin Feng rushed out of the crater on his flying sword and floated above the true essence hand. His clothes were tattered and his face was dirty. He looked extremely miserable, but his black eyes shot out a bright light that gave people an oppressive feeling that was hard to look directly at. Your Celestial Gourd sect is a 6-star sect in the South Flat Continent, but you secretly raise spirit insects. Not only do you buy cauldrons to feed the spirit insects, but you also release information for cultivators to explore the 10,000 Insect Valley. In fact, you're using them as food for the spirit insects. How shameless! When Qin Feng first met Mu He at the dominating cauldron trading company, he had some guesses. However, these were just his guesses and had not been confirmed. After saying this, Mu Feng's expression changed drastically and his voice was about to freeze. How do you know the secret of the Celestial Gourd sect? Qin Feng realized that his guesses were all true. This fact shocked him. He understood many things now. No wonder there was a rumor that there was a level 9 cordyceps in the 1000 Insect Valley. The last time he went deep into the 1000 Insect Valley and even fell into the 1000 Lotus Lake, he couldn't find a trace of the cordyceps. This news was obviously fake. As a 6-star sect in the South Flat Continent, the Celestial Gourd sect actually had such great ambitions to secretly raise spirit insects. Their goal was most likely to become a 7-star sect or even dominate the entire South Flat Continent. 2,000 years ago, the Divine Supreme Continent suffered from the insect calamity. The entire continent was almost dominated by spirit insects. Yet, your Celestial Gourd still dare to raise spirit insects. Aren't you afraid that the insect calamity will happen again? Qin Feng said angrily. Mu Feng laughed. Ha! What does the insect calamity have to do with the Celestial Gourd? If the Divine Supreme Continent is really occupied by spirit insects one day, it's because the human cultivators are useless. Don't push the blame to the Celestial Gourd. Since you know the secret of the Celestial Gourd, I can't let you live. Don't think that you can escape death just because you've comprehended the realm. I'll let you see the true power of the body condensation realm. After saying that, a violent magnetic field was formed. The black radiance around Qin Feng's body dissipated quickly and was replaced by a white radiance. A loud sound exploded in the forest. Mu Feng's true essence hand floated in the air for a long time before falling again, instantly raising a cloud of dust. Chapter 1981. Qin Fang's expression turned serious. He realized that Mu Feng had also comprehended his realm and that it had reached the major success stage. There were even signs of it touching the stage. However, Qin Feng had seen a real stage before, so he was sure that Mu Feng hadn't formed it yet. Although it was similar to a stage, the difference in power was like heaven and earth. When the white light completely filled the forest, Qin Feng's domain completely disappeared. Originally, with his divine sense, he could control every leaf, every blade of grass, and even the flow of air. But now, he couldn't feel anything at all. Ha! A mere true spirit cultivator dares to compete with a body condensation realm. What a joke! When his own realm swallowed Qin Feng's realm, Mu Feng revealed an arrogant smile. He wasn't in a hurry to kill Qin Feng and said, to be able to comprehend a realm at the true spirit realm and even to the minor success stage, you can be considered the first person in the South Flat Continent. It can be seen that your path of cultivation is boundless. You must have entered the gate of life. Quickly hand over the treasures inside and this old man might spare your dog life if I'm in a good mood. Qin Feng was anxious. He tried to break Mu Feng's realm but was powerless. Mu Feng was a body condensation realm cultivator after all. Whether it was his comprehension of the realm or the strength of his true essence, it far surpassed Qin Feng. Qin Feng even felt some regret. He blamed himself for being too rash, challenging a body condensation realm level 2 expert at Hollow God realm level 3, but it was too late to say anything now. Luckily, Qin Feng found that although he couldn't break Mu Feng's realm, he could still form a small space of his own. However, that space was pitifully small and could only cover a 1-meter radius around him. But this was already enough for him to rejoice. At least he could still maintain his freedom in Mu Feng's realm. I have indeed entered the gate of life. There are many treasures inside. Not only are there 4 spirit essence ponds, there are also 1,000 spirit crystals and even a tree of life. Qin Feng knew that either he or Mu Feng would die today, so there was no need to hide the secret of the Mountain of Life. Elder Mu Feng's eyes flickered with ecstasy. So the rumors are true. There really is a tree of life on the Mountain of Life. He knew the tree of life very well. It was one of the 10 great immortal herbs of the divine continent. Rumor had it that the tree of life could purify one's mind and improve one's perception. No wonder that aunt surnamed Qin had such a high cultivation at such a young age. He had actually obtained the tree of life. Quickly hand over the tree of life and the spirit essence pond. Mu Feng could not contain his excitement. Qin Feng sneered in his heart. How could he hand over the tree of life? The reason why he revealed the secret of the tree of life was mainly to destroy Mu Feng's mental state. Qin Feng was still not satisfied with the current results. He continued to provoke the other party. Not only is there a tree of life and a spirit marrow pond on the Mountain of Life, but there are also 3 spirit veins. Mu Feng's eyes emitted a green light and his breathing began to quicken. There are also thousands of supreme-grade spirit stones and countless high-level spirit herbs. Oh right. I still have more than 1,000 soul crystals, hundreds of millions of high-grade spirit stones, countless spirit weapons, more than a dozen true weapons. Mu Feng's palms began to sweat. He was a dignified great elder of a 6-star sect, a mighty body condensation realm expert, but he wasn't as wealthy as Qin Feng. He somewhat doubted the veracity of Qin Feng's words. However, even if Qin Feng was lying, at least half of it was true. Just half of the resources that Qin Feng had just mentioned was enough to make Mu Feng go crazy. Don't talk nonsense. Hurry up and hand over the treasures. I promise to let you go. Mu Feng was impatient. Qin Feng smiled and said, I can give you the treasures, but you have to acknowledge me as your master first. Kowtow 3 times and call me master. I will immediately give you the treasures. Mu Feng immediately became furious. Stinking brat, you still dare to be so arrogant when you're about to die. At most, I will kill you first. In the end, those treasures will still be mine." A sharp cry came from the air. It was neither the cry of a sword or the wind of a blade. Mu Feng didn't seem to be using any techniques. His white robe, however, was bulging as if a blower were hidden there. Countless spiritual bugs flew out of his sleeves and his neckline. They were so dense that they looked like a burning cloud. Qin Fen immediately recognized these spiritual insects. They were the fire spiritual insects he had seen in the deep cave of the Thousand Insect Valley. This kind of spiritual insect was ranked 58th on the divine continent. Its body was fiery red, and its body released scorching energy. After the fire spirit insects appeared, they didn't attack. However, when Mu Feng made a strange sound, the fire spirit insects seemed to have received an order and rushed forward. Mu Feng was still there. The air and the white light stopped flowing. The speed of the fire spirit insects was even faster. In the blink of an eye, they flew in front of Qin Feng. Whoosh! A piece of deep blue flame suddenly rose into the air like a sunflower petal. The moment the flame touched the fire spirit worm, a crackling sound that sounded like frying beans rang out. The fire spirit insects instantly fell to the ground. Their bodies were burned black. A strong burnt smell floated in the forest, making people feel suffocated. The smile on Mu Feng's face froze. He didn't even have time to feel sorry for the spirit insects he had raised for many years. He stared at the blue flame floating in the air in shock and shouted, "This is the heavenly fire spirit sunflower. It really is the spirit sunflower flame that is ranked 20th in the divine continent. Isn't it just the heavenly fire spirit sunflower? Why are you so excited? I still have several types of heavenly fire. As long as you acknowledge me as your master, I will give them to you. How about it?" Qin Feng pretended to be relaxed. Mu Feng didn't even have time to be angry with Qin Feng. At this moment, he was extremely depressed. Even a body condensation realm expert like him didn't have the opportunity to encounter a heavenly fire. Who would have thought that Qin Feng, a mere true spirit realm cultivator, would have so many fortuitous encounters? Not only did he open the door of life, he even had a heavenly fire in his hands. Ha ha ha. The tree of life, the spirit marrow pond, and the heavenly fire, these are all mine. You can die now. Mu Feng didn't care about the fact that the fire spirit insects were instantly burned by the heavenly fire. As he laughed maniacally, his white robe swelled up again, and new spirit insects flew out. They were like drops of blood, and when they gathered together, they formed a spectacular river of blood. Bloodthirsty insects. Qin Feng frowned. He had seen this kind of spirit insect before. It was the bloodthirsty insects hidden at the bottom of the Thousand Lotus Lake in the Thousand Insect Valley. At that time, many cultivators gathered around the myriad Lotus Lake, trying to steal a 9-leaf fire spirit lotus at the center of the lake. But suddenly, countless bloodthirsty bugs flew out of the bottom of the lake and devoured a large number of cultivators. Even many hollow spirit realm cultivators died. Even the cauldron-filling state Grand Elder of Time Moon Mountain, Xia Zhong, fled in panic. At that time, Qin Feng couldn't use the heavenly fire to deal with the bloodthirsty insects and almost lost his life in the Thousand Lotus Lake. In the end, he had to release the hunting turtles to survive. As these thoughts flashed through his mind, tens of thousands of bloodthirsty insects had already surrounded Qin Feng. When those spirit insects flew, it was like a flowing blood vessel. The scene was extremely strange. Ha! My bloodthirsty insects haven't drunk human blood for a long time, especially the blood of a peak true spirit cultivator like you. Today, I will let them eat their fill. Mu Feng laughed crazily, but halfway through his laughter, his expression suddenly froze. His old eyes were filled with horror as he looked at the strange scene in the sky in disbelief. He didn't know when a small spirit insect had appeared, but it was definitely not the fire spirit insect or the bloodthirsty insects he raised. It didn't seem to be a spirit insect at all. It was only the size of an earthworm, and its body was emitting a dazzling golden light. It was clearly only the size of a pinky, but it opened its mouth and swallowed the bloodthirsty insects like a vacuum cleaner. Quong 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 quong. The sound of the hunting turtles eating was very loud, like the sound of an excavator. The tens of thousands of bloodthirsty insects disappeared at a speed visible to the naked eye, and some of the spirit insects that hadn't been swallowed began to flee in panic. What the hell is this? Why have I never seen it before? Mu Feng's eyes almost fell to the ground. Qin Feng looked at the scene of the hunting turtles crazily swallowing the spirit insects and felt refreshed in his heart. A moment later, he found that because of the hunting turtles' devouring effect, even the magnetic field of Mu Feng's domain had become chaotic, and the binding effect was rapidly weakening. Old fart, release whatever spirit insects you have. My little pet has just started warming up, Qin Feng shouted. Mu Feng almost spat out a mouthful of old blood. Those spirit insects were treasures that he had painstakingly raised, and each of them was extremely precious. Now, thousands of fire spirit insects had been burned to death by Qin Feng's heavenly fire, and tens of thousands of bloodthirsty insects had been swallowed by an unknown thing. His heart was dripping blood crazily. What kind of spirit insect is that? Mu Feng didn't directly make a move. He was full of curiosity about the hunting turtles. Who said the hunting turtles are spirit insects? It's an immortal beast. The hunting turtles were not immortal beasts. They were rank 9-star beasts in the Hedonist sovereign system. However, it was not easy to explain things like the system and star beasts to Mu Feng. He was afraid that the other party wouldn't understand. Qin Feng simply defined the hunting turtles as immortal beasts. He was not exaggerating. He even guessed that when the hunting turtles evolved to the peak, they would be even more ferocious and powerful than real immortal beasts. Immortal beast? Do you think I'm a 3-year-old child? Mu Feng clearly didn't believe it. It doesn't matter if you believe it or not. Go to hell in peace. Qin Feng let out a low roar. His body suddenly shot into the void, escaping from the boundary created by Mu Feng. As the boundary fell, a black light burst out, enveloping a large area of the forest in darkness. Qin Feng immediately took out the 100-mile light sniper and pulled the trigger. A sea of lightning arrived. Whoosh! The sky above the black camp was cut open by a bolt of purple lightning. The light was dazzling. Then, dozens of lightning bolts as thick as a person's waist appeared and bombarded the forest. The violent aura seemed like it was going to destroy the earth. How did you do it? What kind of lightning is this? Mu Feng was once again stunned by Qin Feng's methods. How could this be a lightning attack that an ordinary true spirit cultivator could trigger? Even a cultivator with lightning spiritual roots couldn't do it. Looking at the sea of lightning that filled the sky, it was comparable to a void god realm lightning tribulation. In just a moment of being stunned, several lightning bolts had already exploded on Mu Feng's body. Such a fierce lightning bolt could even kill a true spirit cultivator and heavily injure a void god. However, when it struck Mu Feng's body, it only caused some superficial wounds. P.S. 3 chapters for the monthly votes. Chapter 1982. Mu Feng was stunned for a moment before he suddenly laughed wildly. Ha! What bullshit lightning strike, it looks fierce but useless, I advise you not to resist pointlessly. As long as you obediently hand over the treasure, I can give you a quick death. Qin Feng didn't know how many powerful cultivators he had killed with the power of the lightning tribulation, but he realized that the current power of the lightning tribulation was far from enough to kill a body condensation state supreme being. However, even if the lightning tribulation didn't threaten Mu Feng's life, it could still injure him. As for Mu Feng's current indifference, he was just putting up a strong front. Since you don't fear the lightning, then I'll turn the lightning into a sea. Let's see how long you can last. Qin Feng roared. It was as if a large bell fell from the sky and stood in front of him. The heaven bell's mouth faced towards Mu Feng. Before he could react, tens of waist-thick lightning bolts shot out. They instantly crisscrossed in the air and enveloped the entire area in a sea of lightning. Crackle. The lightning bolts strengthened by the heaven bell were extremely ferocious and let out a loud sound that tore through the sky. Mu Feng instantly sensed that something was wrong and stepped into the air to escape. However, the sea of lightning seemed to be endless and new lightning bolts kept falling, blocking his path of retreat. With a muffled bang, a lightning bolt tore through the sky and struck Mu Feng's head, blasting him to the ground. He landed right in the center of the sea of lightning. The rumbling of thunder was deafening and dazzling lightning bolts kept falling. Even if Mu Feng wanted to escape, his body was exploding and he completely lost control. Qin Feng would not let go of any chance to kill him and immediately rushed over on his flying sword. He unleashed all of his trump cards in an instant. While he was still in midair, he struck out several palms, and the heavenly spirit sunflower flame in the shape of a single petal dyed half the sky blue. Following that, thousands of silver spear projections descended, rumble. The center of the sea of lightning exploded and it looked like the end of the world. Blade light, sword shadows, heavenly fire, all of them exploded in that area. After a series of fierce attacks, Qin Feng immediately used the soul returning technique. At the same time, he secretly released the hunting pincer, planning to give Mu Feng a fatal blow. After an intense battle, Qin Feng realized that with his current strength, it would be difficult for him to kill a body condensation state supreme being. If he used it with the hunting pincer, his chances of winning would greatly increase. Under the ferocious sea of thunder and Qin Feng's continuous attacks, Mu Feng had long been overwhelmed. Right now, he only wanted to escape from the sea of thunder as soon as possible and did not notice the hunting turtles approaching. And with the surname Qin, if it weren't for that old bastard Xian Hai injuring me in the city, who do you think you are? Mu Feng roared as he fled. It could be seen that his heart was filled with anger. Only then did Qin Fen wake up. No wonder Mu Feng's true essence was consumed so quickly. He had only stayed in the Thunder Sea for half an incense stick of time, yet he was like a lamp that had run out of oil. It turned out that he had already suffered internal injuries. With Qin Fen's intelligence, he immediately understood why Xian Hai had attacked. Xian Hai didn't attack just because Mu Feng had broken the rules of the 80-kilometer city. The main reason was that he had long known that Mu Feng wanted to kill him. By injuring Mu Feng, it was obvious that he had secretly helped him. After figuring out this series of relationships, Qin Fen could not help but sigh. These powerful seniors of the divine continent not only had heaven-defying cultivation, but their shrewdness was even more astounding. At this time, Mu Feng was already making a last-ditch struggle. Blood kept spurting out of his mouth, and his body was charred black. He no longer had the demeanor of an expert from before. Grandson with the surname Qin, even if this old man dies today, I will drag you down with me. A roar that even overshadowed the rolling thunder rang out. Fierce winds surged around Mu Feng's body, and raging flames appeared under his skin. He was actually burning his blood essence. This was a method that would cause both sides to suffer. Cultivators could instantly increase their strength by burning their blood essence, but the price was extremely high. When their blood essence was burned out, their lifespan would also come to an end. Mufeng completely burned his blood essence without leaving a path of retreat. His entire body was on fire, and at this time, he was like a flaming man flying out of the sea of thunder. The lightning was still fiercely bombarding his body, but it did not affect him at all. His speed did not even slow down, and as soon as he rushed to the sky where Qin Feng was floating, he slammed his palms down. Bang 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 bang. Each palm raised a large hand of true essence, bringing with it a loud sound of breaking the wind. These large hands of true essence were still burning, and it was as spectacular as the appearance of Buddha's palm. When the 5 palm prints overlapped, covering half of the sky, it was like a black cloud falling from the top of Qin Feng's head. If you want to die, then die by yourself. This old man hasn't lived enough yet. Qin Feng cursed and immediately took out his imprisonment and slashed down with his saber. Black light shot out in all directions, and the surrounding airflow instantly froze. The rapidly falling palm print floated in the air, like a frozen scene of dark clouds. Your realm can't even withstand a single blow, break for me. Mufeng was determined to perish together with Qin Feng. The flames on his body rose once again, and when his blood essence burned, it made a crackling sound like frying beans. Just listening to it made people's hair stand on end. Soon, a dazzling white light fell from the sky. Wherever it went, the black light cast by the imprisonment was swallowed and disappeared, and the realm formed by Qin Feng also quickly weakened and faded away. Seeing that the palm print was about to fall to the ground again, Qin Feng stood in the air motionlessly. His divine sense swept towards the hunting pincer, and all his hopes were placed on this little guy. The hunting pincer seemed to be aware of the crisis its master was in at the moment. After lurking for a long time, it launched its first attack. With a leap, it turned into a black shadow and drilled into Mufeng's body. A few seconds later, Mufeng's expression changed greatly, and his attack suddenly stopped. He glared at Qin Feng and roared, "You treacherous child, you dare to plot against this old man." As he cursed, he urged his true essence to try to force the hunting pincer out. However, the hunting pincer was so fast that he couldn't accurately capture it. Qin Feng's realm expanded again, covering half of the woodland. Mufeng's old eyes were about to explode, and his body constantly emitted muffled sounds. It wasn't the sound of burning blood essence, but the sound of true essence exploding. The explosion lasted for an incense stick of time, and Mufeng finally fell straight down. This guy was able to persist for so long under the bombardment of the Sea of Thunder and the hunting pincers devouring. It was completely beyond Qin Feng's expectations. Qin Feng fell to the ground and sat on the ground, gasping for breath. This battle had exhausted him, and he had almost died. He thought that Mufeng was already dead, but a ball of light shot out from his body. The ball of light seemed to be frightened and quickly fled. Quang 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 quang. Without waiting for Qin Feng's attack, the hunting pincer had already caught up and swallowed the ball of light. Mufeng's scream came from the ball of light, "Don't eat me, spare my life." The hunting pincer didn't care about Mufeng's begging for mercy. It quickly swallowed the ball of light, and then flew to Qin Feng's shoulder, seemingly digesting it. This was the first time Qin Feng saw the hunting pincer's stomach swollen. It was as big as a ball, and it seemed to have indigestion. However, when this little guy swallowed tens of thousands of spirit insects, he didn't see it become like this. Chapter 1983. Master, the hunting turtle swallowed Mufeng's primordial spirit. Little Pig said. Qin Feng's eyes widened. Though he hadn't formed a primordial spirit yet, he knew that it was the new body formed when the hollow god realm broke through to the body condensation state. Once a cultivator had a primordial spirit, they would be immortal. As long as the primordial spirit was still there, they could even take over the bodies of low-level cultivators. The primordial spirit could be said to be the condensation of a body condensation realm cultivator's lifetime cultivation. It contained an incomparably violent true essence. Even Qin Feng couldn't absorb this kind of powerful true essence all at once. As a result, the hunting pincer directly swallowed Mu Feng's primordial spirit into its stomach. However, the hunting turtle didn't seem to be feeling well. It swollen like a rubber ball made a rumbling noise. It seemed like the sound of true yuan exploding. Master, the hunting turtle said it's going to sleep for a while. Little Pig translated. Qin Feng realized that this little guy probably needed time to digest Mu Feng's primordial spirit. Mu Feng was, after all, a body condensation state. One could imagine how powerful his lifetime cultivation was. How long is it going to sleep for? That's hard to say. It could be a month, a year, or even 8 to 10 years. Little Pig said. Qin Feng rolled his eyes. If the hunting turtle was going to sleep for 10 years, then it might as well not wake up. After eating a few stabilizing pills, he sat on the ground and recuperated. Qin Feng recovered 30% of his strength. He got up and walked to the grassland where Mu He died. He picked up the 3 storage rings on the ground. When he thought about how a body condensation state died just like that, he couldn't help but be shocked. Mu Feng was indeed a body condensation state. The 3 storage rings were filled with abundant cultivation resources. One of the rings was used to store spirit stones. There were at least 200 million high-grade spirit stones, hundreds of supreme-grade spirit stones, and tens of spirit crystals. The other 2 storage rings were used to store spirit herbs and spirit weapons and some smithing materials. The resources in these 2 rings couldn't be underestimated. Qin Feng had earned a lot this time. Qin Feng didn't continue to look at the 3 storage rings in detail because a group of people walked over. These people were dressed in rags and had unkempt hair. They even had chains on their hands and feet. Are you the 88 cauldrons? Qin Feng asked. The crowd was in a state of panic, and they stood dozens of meters away in fear of Qin Feng. A true spirit realm cultivator took 2 steps forward and said, Senior, we are all cultivation furnaces sold by Dominating Heaven Furnace Trading Company. Originally, we were bought by Immortal Gourd's sex elder, but since Senior killed him, we belong to you now. These human cauldrons were mostly male. When Qin Feng heard the words, all belong to you, he couldn't help but shiver. You're all free now. Go. Qin Feng sympathized with the fate of these human cauldrons. If he hadn't coincidentally encountered his father who had escaped, he didn't know what kind of situation his father and grandfather would be in. These human cauldrons obviously had their own families, so how could their families not be worried? The group of cultivators was stunned and looked at Qin Feng in astonishment. The Divine Supreme Continent was a place where only the strong were respected. As long as one's strength was low, one's status would be lower than others. Qin Feng had just killed a body condensation realm expert, Mu He, not long ago. It was obvious that his strength was above everyone else. No one expected such a powerful expert to let them go. Senior, are you really willing to let us go? The true spirit realm cultivator's voice trembled. Qin Feng said solemnly, everyone should be equal regardless of their status. My cultivation is just a bit higher than yours temporarily. Who knows if there will be someone more powerful than me among you in the future. I won't use you for cultivation. You can leave at any time. The crowd couldn't believe it. It was their first time seeing such a kind senior like Qin Feng. A few cultivators came back to their senses and left immediately. The other cultivators saw that Qin Feng really didn't stop them, so they also ran away. The true spirit realm cultivator cupped his fists at Qin Feng before he left. Thank you for saving my life, Senior. I am Yu Duo, a disciple of East Dragon Palace. If Senior goes to East Dragon Palace in the future, you must come find me. Qin Feng didn't expect that the true spirit realm cultivator was a beast cultivator. Although he had already smelled the beast chi in the crowd, it was hard to determine who was the beast cultivator when there were more than 80 people standing together. Qin Fen let out a sigh of relief when he saw the 88 cultivation furnaces leave. Although he didn't know what would happen to these people in the future and whether they would be captured as cultivation furnaces again, he could only help them this much. After sorting out his emotions, Qin Fen continued his journey. He planned to go to Grey Island first to find the treasure map that Aku gave him. If he still couldn't find the treasure in a month, he would go to the Sword Peak to meet up with Xian Hai. The map that Aku gave him was very detailed. It even marked out the interior of the island's 3 major areas. This map was definitely drawn by a cultivator who had been to the 3 major areas of Grey Island and had gone deep into them. The depths of the 3 major areas of Grey Island had long been occupied by beast cultivators and had been designated as forbidden areas. It was clear that this map was an extremely precious resource. After the time it took for 2 incense sticks to burn, Qin Fen officially entered the Grey Island area. In fact, the outer area of Grey Island was only 80 miles away from 80 Mile City, which was how the city got its name. After Qin Fen participated in the auction, he purposely took detours in the wilderness outside of 80 Mile City in order to get rid of his pursuers. Just as he stepped into the Grey Island area, Qin Fen smelled a strong scent of seawater and beast cultivators. Just as he landed his flying sword, 4 black shadows jumped out from behind him. Ha! Here comes another ignorant human. Third Prince, this brat is only at Nihility God Realm level 3. Do you plan to kill him yourself or do you want us to do it for you? Human ant, daring to step into Grey Island area, you are simply courting death. The 4 of them had strange appearances. 3 of them were old fellas with human heads and fish bodies. Their bodies were covered with sharp and sturdy scales. The other young man looked like a human, but his body was covered with seawater mist and he had a pair of horns on his head. The young man with horns was called the Third Prince. He waved his hand and a fiery red long spear appeared in his hand. He was about to attack Qin Fen. White Flood Dragon, you are bullying human cultivators again. Stop right now. Before the long spear could attack, another black shadow flew over. This person looked to be in his early 30s, similar to the Third Prince's age. This person had completely transformed into a human's body and appearance. He wore a white robe and had an elegant demonic aura. However, there was a faint demonic aura on his body, revealing his true identity. After this handsome man appeared, the 3 old fellas' faces turned cold. The horned Third Prince scolded, Qi Longxing, it's you again. Are you a beast cultivator or not? Why are you always speaking up for human cultivators? The handsome man had already landed beside Qin Fen. Qin Fen glanced at him and saw that he was a Nihility God Realm level 3 beast cultivator. The horned young man was at Nihility God Realm level 4. This kind of cultivation shocked Qin Fen. After all, the 2 of them looked to be in their 30s. To be able to reach Nihility God Realm intermediate stage at this age, they were considered top geniuses in the entire South Flat continent. It's not that I always stand on the side of human cultivators. It's that you always find trouble with human cultivators for no reason. You are tarnishing the name of our beast cultivator race. Qi Longxing stood in front of Qin Fen, looking like he wanted to protect him. This action made Qin Fen roll his eyes in secret. Although the Third Prince was at Nihility God Realm level 4, Qin Fen was confident that he could kill him instantly. However, Qin Fen didn't act rashly. After all, Green Island was the territory of beast cultivators. It was better for him to keep a low profile. Qi Longxing, you still have the cheek to criticize the Third Prince. As the 8th son of the island master of North Ring 3 Islands, you help human cultivators every day. You are the one who has embarrassed our beast cultivator race. If it wasn't for your identity, I would have killed you long ago. Today, that human ant must die. If you dare to stop us, don't blame us for being impolite. The three old fellas beside the third prince were enraged. They were the hidden experts. Qin Fen had checked the realms of the three old fellas. Two of them were body condensation realm late stage. He couldn't see through the last one, but he was definitely at Ekayana tripod realm. However, Qi Longxing didn't seem to be afraid of the three old fellas. He even scolded them, "Who do you think you are? How dare you speak to me like this? If my father hears about this, you won't even know how you died." The three old fellas' faces were red with anger, but they didn't refute. The white dragon said angrily, "Qi Longxing, do you dare to fight to the death with me?" Qi Longxing hesitated. He obviously knew that the white dragon was at Nihility God Realm level 4. However, in the end, he still said, "Let's fight." "Do you think I'm afraid of you?" As soon as he accepted the challenge, he immediately transmitted his voice to Qin Fen, "Brother, when the life and death battle starts, take the opportunity to escape. Run towards the direction of the 80-kilometer city. As long as you leave the boundary of Grey Island, those three old men won't dare to chase after you." Qin Fen was slightly stunned. He didn't expect the young demonic cultivator to be so kind. He could even guess that the reason why he accepted the White Dragon's challenge was to give him a chance to escape. Because of Qi Longxing's appearance, Qin Fen started to redefine demonic cultivators. He realized that demonic cultivators were the same as human cultivators. There were good and bad people. "You're not his match," Qin Fen said without transmitting his voice. He knew that in front of the three old fellas, transmitting his voice was useless. Qi Longxing seemed to have realized this as well. He said, "Just do as I say. This is your only chance to live. If I escape, won't you die here?" Qin Fen couldn't understand Qi Longxing's thoughts. He was a demonic cultivator, but he was willing to sacrifice himself to help human cultivators. "Don't worry about me. I'm the 8th son of the island master of the 3 northern islands. They won't dare to kill me. Otherwise, the 3 northern islands will start a war with the Nanming Temple," Qi Longxing said confidently. Qin Fen had already figured out these people's identities. Qi Longxing was the 8th son of the island master of the 3 northern islands, and the horned third prince was the 3rd son of the Nanming Temple's palace master. Qin Fen didn't know why his luck was so good. He had just stepped into Green Island and he already met 2 demonic cultivators with such powerful backgrounds. If he wanted to read, he would search for book flag. Chapter 1984. Qin Fen suddenly understood why Qi Longxing and Bai Jiao had such heaven-defying cultivations. At first, he suspected that the two of them had eaten some kind of beautifying pill. Now, it seemed that they were indeed only 30 years old, or maybe even younger. As the sons of the 3 leaders of Grey Island, they definitely didn't have to worry about cultivation resources since they were young. Plus, the bloodline of Yao cultivators was naturally stronger than that of human cultivators, so their cultivation speed was naturally fast. When Bai Jiao and the other 3 heard Qi Longxing's plan, their faces darkened with anger. They knew that this was the entrance to Grey Island. If that human ant did as Qi Longxing said, unless they could kill him instantly, they really wouldn't be able to do anything to him once he escaped from Grey Island. "Qi Longxing, you are the scum of the Yao race. Today, I will kill you for the sake of the entire Yao race." Bai Jiao transferred all his anger to Qi Longxing. Qin Fen could see the murderous intent in his eyes. He really wanted to kill Qi Longxing. "Humph. You want to kill me? Be careful that I kill you instead." Qi Longxing didn't back down. Seeing that the two were about to attack, Qin Fen suddenly said, "Brother Qi, why don't I fight him to the death?" Everyone was stunned and looked at Qin Fen in astonishment. Before Qi Longxing could come back to his senses and persuade him, Bai Jiao had already raised his head and laughed wildly. Ha ha ha. You really are a reckless human ant. You dare to challenge me. Do you believe that I can kill you with one spear? Qi Longxing also came back to his senses and immediately advised, Brother, even though we are of the same realm, we Yao cultivators are naturally stronger than you human cultivators. Plus, Bai Jiao has already stepped into Nihility God Realm Level 4 and is being nurtured by Nanming Palace. You are definitely not his opponent. After Qin Fan killed Mu Feng not long ago, he didn't intentionally hide his cultivation level anymore. Right now, he was at Nihility God Realm Level 3. Since Brother Qi is willing to stand up for a human cultivator that I don't know, how can I escape alone? Why don't I fight with that guy? Maybe a miracle will happen and I'll be able to kill him. Qin Fan pretended to know that he was no match for the White Jiao, and his words moved Qi Longxing greatly. I still don't know your name, brother. I appreciate your kind intentions, but you should leave quickly. We'll meet again if fate wills it. After that, he shouted at Bai Jiao and the other three righteously, See? What's wrong with human cultivators? They are loyal and don't fear death. Let me ask you three old farts, do you dare to sacrifice your lives for the White Flood Dragon? The three old demon cultivators were speechless. Brother Qi, my name is Qin Fan. You can just call me Brother Qin. I won't change my decision. Let me fight that horned monster, Qin Fan said. Horned monster. The White Flood Dragon almost vomited blood. He glared at Qin Feng and roared, You human ant, I'm going to destroy you. Before he could attack with the Crimson Halberd, Qin Feng quickly said, Wait, there are some things I need to confirm before we fight. The White Serpent had no choice but to stop attacking. He could ignore Qin Feng, but he couldn't ignore Qi Longxing's existence. You talk too much. Hurry up and say your last words. The White Flood Dragon was extremely impatient. Qin Feng said, We're going to fight to the death, right? Nonsense. Can't you ask something more meaningful? The White Flood Dragon scolded. Qin Feng didn't care. Since it's a fight to the death, someone will definitely die. If I accidentally kill you, what if those three old farts attack me? Also, you have a high status. If I kill you, what if the Nanming Temple comes to take revenge on me? Qin Feng wasn't afraid of the White Flood Dragon. He could kill an opponent of this level in seconds. However, he couldn't ignore the existence of the Nanming Temple. This was one of the three major areas of Grey Island. The White Flood Dragon's three bodyguards had reached the body condensation stage and even the cauldron-filling realm. Who knew what realm the Nanming Temple's leader was at? Ha! You're so funny. You want to kill me? Stop daydreaming. Since I'm going to die in your eyes, then what's the point of this fight to the death? I'll withdraw, Qin Feng said indifferently. The White Flood Dragon instantly panicked. If Qin Feng didn't fight him, he would definitely run away. Okay. I promise you, if you can kill me, my three bodyguards won't bother you and the Nanming Temple won't hunt you down. But I'll say it again. You want to kill me? Stop daydreaming. Qin Feng didn't care about the White Flood Dragon's arrogant attitude. What he wanted was this guy's promise. Brother Qi, then how about you be the notary? Qi Longxing revealed a difficult expression. It wasn't because of the notary, but because he didn't think Qin Feng would win. In his opinion, if Qin Feng accepted the challenge, he would definitely die. Brother Qin, I advise you to leave this place. Although you're at the Hollow God Realm Level 3 at such a young age and must be a top genius among human cultivators, Grey Island is the territory of demon cultivators. Moreover, the geniuses of demon cultivators are definitely more outstanding than you humans. Don't come here in the future, I appreciate Brother Chi's good intentions, but I won't back down. Please be the notary, Brother Chi. Qin Feng's expression was firm. Qi Longxing saw that Qin Feng had made up his mind and didn't continue to persuade him. He waved his hand and took out a crystal ball the size of a basketball. White Flood Dragon, repeat the promise you made just now, Qi Longxing said to the White Flood Dragon. The White Flood Dragon's face paled when he saw the crystal ball. This was a recording crystal unique to the fallen god Sea. It could record images and sounds. Humph. I, Bai Jiao, have always been a man of my words. Is there a need for you to take out this kind of lousy thing? If that human ant can kill me, I guarantee that my 3 protectors will not pursue his responsibility, and our Nanming Palace will not cause trouble for him. Qi Longxing nodded at Qin Feng and put away the crystal ball. He even reminded Qin Feng, Brother Qin, be careful. If you really can't beat him, run away immediately. Since the agreement was made, the White Flood Dragon could no longer suppress the anger in his heart. He stabbed his fiery red halberd towards Qin Feng. Boom! The halberd brought with it a sea of flames as it flew towards Qin Feng. The fire was so ferocious that it burned the surrounding air into an illusion. However, Qin Feng didn't retreat in the face of such a fierce beast fire. He even took a step forward and his body was submerged in the sea of fire. The two's attacks came too abruptly. When Qi Longxing regained his senses, he immediately panicked and shouted at the sea of fire, Brother Qin, run. That's the white serpent's own beast fire. You won't be able to block it. After he shouted, he felt despair. He saw Qin Feng rush into the sea of fire. He was dead for sure. The 3 old men who followed the White Flood Dragon smiled playfully. They thought that Qin Feng was at least at Hollow God Realm level 3. Even if he was killed by the White Flood Dragon 3rd Prince, it would take him some time. They didn't expect him to be so weak. Human cultivators were indeed useless. However, their excitement didn't last for long. The smiles on their faces froze. A violent explosion came from the sea of fire, followed by a scream. However, the scream didn't come from Qin Feng. It was clearly the White Flood Dragon's roar. The scream was so miserable that it made people's hair stand on end. The cauldron-filling stage beast cultivator quickly woke up and rushed into the sea of fire. How dare you! He let out a strange cry, and then another loud explosion came from the sea of fire. Qin Feng suddenly leaped out from the sea of fire and landed beside Qi Longxing. The old man in the filling cauldron realm also flew over, his eyes bloodshot. Brother Vashi, what's going on? The other 2 body condensation state elders realized that something was wrong and immediately rushed over to Qin Feng. Vashi's true body floated in the air. As his aura rose, his body expanded until he turned into a green flood dragon. He opened his mouth as if he was going to swallow half the sky. Ayaya, this damn human ant, he actually killed the 3rd prince. What? The 2 body condensation state elders were shocked. They immediately looked towards the sea of fire. The flames had dissipated and only a piece of charred land was left. There wasn't even a speck of dust on the ground. Where's the 3rd prince? Was he really killed by that ant? The 2 seemed to be muttering to themselves. Not only the 3 of them, even Qi Longxing was stunned. Not long ago, he was still worried about Qin Feng's safety. Never would he have thought that Qin Feng would be able to kill the Hollow God Realm level 4 White Flood Dragon. Vashi, what do you want? Qi Longxing quickly came to his senses and immediately stood in front of Qin Feng. Vasi's Shinchi was so strong that he revealed his true form. His roar shook the earth, mountains, and rivers. Qi Longxing, get out of my way, or I'll kill you as well. Facing a cauldron-filling stage expert, Qi Longxing instantly lost his confidence. However, he didn't back down. He pretended to be calm and shouted at the sky, "Vashi, don't think that you're so great just because you're at the cauldron-filling stage. There are countless cauldron-filling stage experts in the 3 islands. My father is a disaster transformation state Snake King. Aren't you afraid of their revenge?" Vashi's intimidating aura faded a lot. It was obvious that she was shocked by Qi Longxing's words. Even Qin Feng was shocked. The power of Green Island was much stronger than he imagined. The island masters of the 3 islands were all disaster transformation state experts. From this, it could be seen that the leaders of Nanming Palace and East Dragon Palace weren't weak either. "Don't use the Black Snake King to scare me. That human ant dared to kill the 3rd prince. Today, I must kill him. If you dare to stop me, even if I accidentally kill you, I believe the Black Snake King can't do anything to me." Qi Longxing was extremely nervous. He knew that Qin Fen had created a huge disaster. Just as Vashizan had said, now that the 3rd prince was dead, if he still insisted on protecting Qin Fen, even if he was killed by Vashizan, it would be in vain. However, at this critical moment, Qi Longxing's eyes lit up and he immediately took out the crystal ball. At this moment, he finally understood Qin Feng's intentions. No wonder Qin Feng made the White Flood Dragon promise that he wouldn't be held responsible if he died. Qin Feng had already predicted that the White Flood Dragon would die. For a moment, Qi Longxing couldn't understand. Qin Feng was only a Hollow God Realm Level 3 human cultivator. How did he have the confidence to kill the Hollow God Realm Level 4 White Flood Dragon? Even Qi Longxing didn't have this confidence. Chapter 1985. Vashi, you can't kill Qin Fen. White Serpent had a battle of life and death with him. Life and death are up to fate. I still have the promise White Serpent made before the battle. Do you want to see it again? Qi Longxing immediately shouted. Vashi's face darkened. He didn't want to see the scene recorded on the crystal ball. He wanted to smash the crystal ball. But he knew it was useless even if he did. This crystal was similar to human cultivators' flying swords. Not only did it have the ability to record information, it could also be transmitted to other beast cultivators of the same race. As the 8th son of the Black Serpent King, the recording crystal Qi Longxing used was even more advanced. The scene he recorded could be transmitted to the crystal balls of the Black Serpent King and the protectors of the 3 northern islands. If Vashi killed him now, he would immediately be discovered by the forces of the 3 northern islands. Vashi, White Serpent is already dead and can't be revived. I advise you to quickly return to Nanming Palace and beg for forgiveness. Maybe you'll be treated leniently by the White Serpent King. Staying here is just a waste of time. Seeing that Vashi didn't make a move, Qi Longxing realized that he was afraid. Vashi spat out a mouthful of blood. He was so angry that he vomited blood. It was as if blood rain fell from the sky. The air was filled with the fishy smell of seawater. Vashi floated in the sky and looked deeply at Qin Fen before turning into a green light and disappearing into the distance. After he left, the other 2 body condensation state tertiary stage elders also left. Qi Longxing let out a long sigh of relief and sat down on the ground like a deflated balloon. Phew! I was scared to death. Brother Qin, it can be said that we've escaped with our lives. Not only was Qi Longxing scared, but Qin Fen was also uneasy. The other party was a cauldron-filling state and 2 body condensation state tertiary stage beast cultivators. Any one of them could kill him instantly. Brother Qi, I really have to thank you this time. Qin Fen cupped his fists. Qi Longxing sat on the ground, a nonchalant expression on his face as he waved his hand and said, Brother Qin, you're being too courteous. We've gone through life and death together, so we can be considered good brothers from now on. That's right, Brother Qin, do you think my name is cool? Qi Long's thoughts changed too quickly for Qin Feng to keep up. What do you mean, Brother Qi? That's my name. We monster cultivators have two names. One is the name of a monster beast, and the other is the name of a human cultivator. Since the Divine Supreme Continent is dominated by human cultivators, monster cultivators usually use the name of a human cultivator. Qin Fen understood, and black lines appeared on his forehead. He did not dare to comment on the human name Qilongxing. It's pretty good. Qin Feng didn't want to hurt the other party's feelings. Qilongxing immediately looked excited and shouted excitedly, "Really? I was the one who came up with this name. In the past, my father gave me the name Qin Feng. I thought it was very unpleasant, so I changed it to Qilongxing. I knew that this name was more in line with the aesthetics of you human cultivators." Qin Feng. Qilongxing was very happy and chattered on. Actually, if you want to talk about the coolest name among the Yao cultivators, I think it's still that Vashan who was angered to the point of vomiting blood just now. His name is really nice. It's a pity he took it first. Qin Feng. Brother Qin, why aren't you saying anything? Qilongxing finally realized that Qin Feng had not replied to him for a long time. What's your monster beast's name? Qin Feng was curious. It's very long, I almost forgot. Qilongxing looked like he was trying hard to remember. After a while, he continued, Li Sisi Gu Watai Zhu Mi Yu Bo. Alright, I got it. Qin Feng rolled his eyes. Qilongxing said, You got it. I've only said less than 1/10 of it. Qin Feng. In that case, your human name is really nice. Qin Feng could not express what he was feeling at that moment. Qilongxing finally avoided the topic of names, which made Qin Feng heave a long sigh of relief. This eighth son of the Black Snake King was definitely a chatterbox. He had just met Qin Feng, but he already had endless things to say. Qin Feng did not interrupt him and quietly listened to him talk about his life experiences. It turned out that when Qilongxing was 5 years old, he was cultivating by the sea one day. He was chased by other demon cultivators and almost lost his life at a young age. In the end, a human cultivator appeared and saved him. This incident had a great impact on Qilongxing, causing him to develop a good impression of human cultivators from a young age. From then on, he started to make friends with human cultivators and help each other out. Brother Qin, did you have any demon cultivator friends before me? Qilongxing suddenly became serious. Qin Feng nodded and said, I have many demon cultivator friends. We're very close. Actually, there are good and bad people among you beasts. Just like us human cultivators, there are also good and bad people. Qilongxing was extremely excited, as if he had found a confidant. Brother Qin, you're too kind. I really regret not having met you earlier. I've told this to the other Yao cultivators long ago, but not only did they not agree with me, they even called me a traitor and scum of the Yao cultivator race. I really don't understand. Why can't human cultivators and demon cultivators coexist peacefully? Could it be that we were born enemies? When Qilongxing became excited, he would raise his arms and shout loudly. His hot-blooded and high-spirited emotions infected Qin Feng. Brother Qi, you're right. They're just too narrow-minded and can't reach your height, Qin Feng encouraged him. Qilongxing nodded vigorously. Oh right, Brother Qin, do you have a dream? Qin Feng was stunned. Ever since he came to the Divine Continent, no one had asked him this question. I have a dream. I hope to return to my hometown as soon as possible. The scenery of Acropolis City with green mountains and clear waters appeared in Qin Feng's mind. I also have a dream. My dream is to lead the beast race and reach a treaty of peaceful coexistence with human cultivators. Qi Longxing's eyes shone brightly. His unswerving conviction touched Qin Feng's heart. He patted Qi Longxing's shoulder and said, I believe that one day, you'll achieve your dream. The two youths, who were not even 30 years old, stood at the entrance of Tsang Island and talked. Their dreams were extremely grand, and in the eyes of others, they were impossible. Sometimes, dreams were like this. They weren't meant to be realized. Instead, they were meant to motivate oneself to move forward. Brother Qin, it's getting late. You should leave Tsang Island. Qi Longxing suddenly said. Qin Feng understood what he was thinking. Even though the White Jiao third prince promised that Nanming Temple wouldn't trouble him before he died, only a fool would believe his words. However, since he had come to Tsang Island, Qin Feng wouldn't retreat because of this little threat. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to mingle in the divine continent anymore. I have important matters to attend to on Tsang Island. I can't leave for now. This time, I've implicated Brother Qi. We'll meet again someday. Qin Feng cupped his fists and prepared to leave. Qi Longxing immediately caught up to him and said, Brother Qin, you're not treating me as a friend. I know you're afraid that Nanming Temple will vent their anger on me, but since I dared to help you, I'm not afraid that Nanming Temple will cause trouble for me. Not to mention, I've already formed a grudge with Nanming Temple before this, so this time won't make a difference. Qin Feng's impression of Qi Longxing was getting better and better. This beast cultivator had completely subverted his view of the beast clan. Qi Longxing's character had even surpassed many human cultivators. Brother Qin, don't say any more. Come with me to the 3 Northern Ring Islands. That's my father, the Black Snake King's territory. Other beast cultivators wouldn't dare to mess around there. Qi Longxing pulled Qin Feng away after he finished speaking. The two of them flew towards the depths of Tsang Island. The fishy smell of seawater and beast cultivators in the air became heavier. On the island and the beach, they could see many beast cultivators coming and going. These beast cultivators' strength varied. Some were in human form, while some were half human and half beast. Most of them were in the form of beasts. Along the way, Qi Longxing took the initiative to introduce Tsang Island and the beast cultivators to Qin Feng. Just like what Qin Feng had heard before he arrived, Tsang Island was divided into 3 major areas, 3 Northern Ring Islands, Nanming Temple, and East Dragon Palace. These 3 areas were about the same size, and they each had their own camps. The 3 Northern Ring Islands were ruled by Qi Longxing's father, the Black Snake King. Their family had the orthodox rank 9 Black Snake bloodline. The Nanming Temple was the White Flood Dragon King's territory and had the rank 9 White Flood Dragon bloodline. Lastly, the East Dragon Palace was more mysterious. Normally, it was rare to see beast cultivators from the East Dragon Palace on Tsang Island. However, it was rumored that the leader of the East Dragon Palace had the true dragon bloodline that only appeared in ancient times. Qi Longxing's flying magic treasure was a pinwheel-shaped low-grade true artifact. This kind of flying ship was considered a top-grade treasure in the South Pingzhou continent. However, compared to Qin Feng's flying cloud all, which was comparable to a high-grade true artifact, it was still lacking. However, Qin Feng didn't take out the flying cloud all, mainly because he didn't want to attract unnecessary trouble. Moreover, Qi Longxing's flying ship was clearly his trademark. Along the way, they encountered many body condensation and even cauldron-filling realm beasts, but none dared to rob or stop this flying ship. The flying ship flew at top speed for 5 days and 5 nights before reaching the entrance of the 3 Northern Ring Islands. This showed how vast Tsang Island was. As soon as they entered the 3 Northern Ring Islands, Qi Longxing let out a long sigh of relief. Phew! We're finally home. Brother Qin, we're completely safe now. Qin Feng looked down at the sea below him from the sky. He immediately understood how the 3 northern ring islands got their name. This area was formed by a total of 3 giant islands. The islands were connected by a long wooden bridge made of iron chains. Brother Qin, do you see the bridge connecting the 3 islands? It said that it's a bridge that has existed since ancient times and connects the 3 northern ring islands. There's a flight restriction array on the bridge. That array was also passed down from ancient times. In the past, my father found many array masters to break the flight restriction array on the bridge. This way, our clansmen could easily fly across the 3 northern ring islands instead of walking on the bridge. What was the result? Qin Feng was interested in the array on the bridge. If it was really an ancient array, he could go and study it. It would be of great help to improve his array skills. No one in the South Pingzhou continent could break the flight restriction array on the bridge. Even the sect leader of the All-Array sect couldn't do anything. Later on, my father gathered all the hollow god and above beasts in the clan and tried to break the array on the bridge. However, hundreds of powerful cultivators attacked for 3 days and 3 nights, and the array showed no signs of weakening. Chapter 1986. Qin Fen was stunned by Qi Longxing's words. He had already tried his best to overestimate the overall strength of Grey Island, but he realized that he had still underestimated it. According to Qi Longxing, there were hundreds of Void God Realm and above cultivators in the 3 northern islands. That meant that the entire Grey Island had at least 1,000. And this was just a conservative estimate. After all, some of the truly powerful cultivators were usually elusive. If such a powerful force suddenly attacked the South Pingzhou continent, it would definitely be a disaster. Qin Fen recalled the catastrophe of the Beast clan that Barefoot Spiritual Master had mentioned. It was said that the Beast Tide had invaded the 4 continents and almost dominated the continent. Qin Fen was starting to believe that was true. When he came to his senses again, Qi Longxing had already landed the flying ship. As soon as he got off the flying ship, a strong sea breeze hit his nose. Brother Qin, we're home. You're safe now. Qi Longxing was extremely excited. It seemed that he valued Qin Fen's life more than his own. Qin Fen was grateful. He cupped his fists and said, "Thank you for your help, Brother Qi. Otherwise, I'm afraid I would have died at the border of Grey Island. We're already good brothers. Brother Qin, you don't have to be so polite with me." The 2 of them chatted as they walked towards a bridge. According to Qi Longxing, they had to cross this bridge and go to the cave abode that he and his mother lived in. There was a flight restriction formation on the bridge of the 3 northern islands. Flying immortal tools couldn't pass through. Yo! Isn't this the scum of our Black Snake clan, Qi Longxing? Why did you bring a human ant back? Qin Fen had just walked to the side of the bridge when he heard a mocking voice behind him. He saw Qi Longxing's expression immediately turn cold. He turned around and yelled at the person, "Ba Zhua, I don't need you to say anything. Please recognize your identity first." A total of 4 people flew over. The middle-aged man who landed first was Ba Zhua. Behind him were 3 older demonic cultivators. As soon as Ba Zhua landed, his expression turned cold as if someone had touched his reverse scale. "Qi Longxing, say that again if you dare. Everything I said is the truth. You're just a son of the harem. How can you compare to my identity as the son of the main wife?" Qi Longxing didn't back down. Qin Fen did not know much about demon cultivators, so he could not understand the conversation between Qi Longxing and Ba Zhi at all. It turned out that the leaders of the Yao cultivator clan would have many female cultivator companions. These companions were divided into human women and Yao cultivator women. However, human women had an extremely low status in their clan, and the children they gave birth to also had a low status. Octopus was the offspring of the union between the Black Snake King and a human woman. He was known as the child of the harem. Qi Longxing's mother was a demon cultivator, so he was the son of the main wife. Based on Qi Longxing's personality, who was willing to befriend even human cultivators, he naturally did not care that the empress was the son of the harem. However, he knew very well how narrow-minded Ba Ji was. Therefore, Qi Longxing did not show the slightest bit of mercy when dealing with such a vicious and cunning person. Every son of the harem would feel inferior because of their status, and Octagon Li was no exception. At this time, he was so angry that his eyes were about to pop out of their sockets, but in the end, he did not make a move. Qi Longxing, one day, I will make all of you regret this. Octagon Li said some strange words. Without waiting for Qi Longxing to speak again, he suddenly looked at Qin Fun with a playful expression and said, "Ha! This human cultivator looks a little familiar. Guardians, is this the human ant you are looking for?" The three elders behind Octagon Li locked their divine senses on Qin Fun. Immediately, a violent surge of vital essence surged from their bodies. They were actually three mighty figures in the mid-stage of the body condensation realm. One of them roared angrily, "It's this human ant who dared to kill the third prince of the Nanming Temple. I want you to die a horrible death." As soon as he finished speaking, a huge vital essence hand floated in the air and descended with an unstoppable momentum. Qi Longxing's expression changed drastically. He actually rushed into the air at the first instant, trying to block the other party's attack. "Stop right now. This is the territory of the three northern islands. It's not up to the people of the Nanming Temple to behave atrociously here." Qi Longxing felt that he was instantly surrounded by the aura of death and immediately shouted. The expression of the mighty figure in the body condensation realm who attacked changed, and he hurriedly changed his hand gesture. The originally ferocious palm landed on the empty ground behind Qi Longxing and Qin Fen, blasting a huge pit. Rumble. Loud explosions rang out one after another. It was clear that this palm contained a ferocious vital essence aura. Qi Longxing heaved a sigh of relief after landing on the ground. He felt that if the other party had been even half a second late, he would have died. "Qi Longxing, do you know what you are doing?" Octagon Li roared angrily. Qi Longxing's expression became even colder. "I still have to ask you, you bastard, what the hell are you doing? As the demonic cultivator race of the three northern islands, you are actually entangled with the forces of the Nanming Temple. You even brought the three body condensation realm experts of the Nanming Temple here. Are you trying to rebel?" A hint of panic flashed through Octagon Li's eyes, but he quickly regained his composure. He said, "Don't slander me. The reason I brought the three guardians of the Nanming Temple here is because the human ant beside you killed the third prince of the Nanming Temple not long ago. You still dare to bring such an evil person back to the three northern islands. Aren't you causing trouble for the demonic cultivators of our race? I think you are the one who wants to rebel." The two sons of the Black Snake King quarreled endlessly. Qin Fen and the three old men from the Nanming Temple could only watch. The palm just now didn't kill Qin Fen instantly, so the three guardians of the Nanming Temple didn't dare to act rashly anymore. This was the territory of the three northern islands. They had already broken the rules by trespassing. Just as the three of them were worried, several black shadows flew over from the distance. Those black shadows were still far away in the sky, but a few seconds later, they had already appeared above Qin Fen and the others' heads. 5 bright light shadows floated like 5 dazzling suns. Qin Fen immediately used his divine sense to scan them. He found that 3 of them had stepped into the late stage of the body condensation realm. The other 2 had strong auras, but he couldn't tell what they were. He estimated that they were already at the cauldron-filling state. What's going on here? Why did the demonic cultivators of the Nanming Temple appear? One of the 5 people spoke. Seeing these 5 people, Octagon Li and Qi Longxing, who had been quarreling non-stop, stopped. Qi Longxing cupped his fists and said, Qi greets the 5 uncles. It was Octagon Li who brought the 3 guardians of the Nanming Temple here. I hope the 5 uncles will uphold justice. 5 powerful divine senses landed on Octagon Li, causing him to tremble uncontrollably. 5 uncles, please listen to me. I didn't intentionally bring the guardians of the Nanming Temple into the 3 northern islands. That human cultivator killed the White Dragon King's 3rd son. Now, the entire Nanming Temple is hunting this person. In the end, Qi Longxing actually brought this person into our territory. Isn't he causing trouble for us? The expressions of the 5 people in the sky changed. The voice from before sounded again. Nonsense. This is the territory of the 3 northern islands. No matter what the reason is, the demonic cultivators of the Nanming Temple are not allowed to enter without permission. Moreover, the 3 of you dared to fight here. Why aren't you leaving now? Are you planning to stay here forever? The 3 arrogant demonic cultivators at the body condensation stage immediately became listless. They had been blinded by the 3rd Highness death aura. Otherwise, how could they have trespassed into the 3 northern islands? It's our fault for trespassing into the 3 northern islands without notifying you. Please forgive us, seniors, but before we leave, please hand over that human ant to us so that we can return and report to the White Dragon King, one of the Nanming Temple protectors said. The 5 demonic cultivators in the sky could not be bothered with Qin Fen's life or death. They did not express their stance. This was a tacit agreement. However, before the Nanming Temple protectors could make a move, Qi Longxing immediately shouted, 5 uncles, we definitely can't let them take Qin Fen away. If they take him away, where will the dignity of the 3 northern islands be? When that happens, the demonic cultivators around Grey Island will say that the 3 northern islands are afraid of the Nanming Temple. They will say that the Nanming Temple only sent 3 demonic cultivators at the body condensation stage, and that the 3 northern islands were so scared that they didn't dare to speak. They could only watch as the other party behaved atrociously and took away cultivators at will. The faces of Octagon Li and the 3 Nanming Temple protectors darkened. They secretly shot several murderous looks at Qi Longxing. The expressions of the 5 demonic cultivators in the sky changed. In the end, one of them said, I'll give the 3 of you the time it takes for half an incense stick to burn. If you don't leave the 3 northern islands within that time, you will be killed. The 3 Nanming Temple protectors were unwilling, but they did not dare to stay for a moment longer. The 3 of them immediately stepped on their flying swords and disappeared into the distance. They did not even dare to leave behind any harsh words. Qi Longxing, you traitor of our clan. Sooner or later, our Black Snake clan will be destroyed in your hands. Octagon Li cursed angrily. Then, he leaped up and quickly disappeared into the sky. The 5 great demonic cultivators in the sky had not left yet. A voice came from the sky. Qi Longxing, this is the last time. If I see you bring back human cultivators again, I will send a request to the Black Snake King to expel you from the Black Snake clan. As for that human cultivator, make him leave the 3 northern islands as soon as possible. The voice was still floating in the sky, but at some point, the 5 dazzling lights had already disappeared. Qi Longxing heaved a long sigh of relief. A layer of cold sweat appeared on his forehead. It was clear that his calmness earlier was all an act. Brother Qi, I won't say any more words of gratitude. If you need any help in the future, just let me know. Qin Fen realized that Qi Longxing was not only a scum in the eyes of the demonic cultivators of the Nanming Temple, but he did not expect that he would also be looked down upon by the demonic cultivators of the Black Snake clan in the 3 northern islands. Qin Fen suddenly felt some sympathy for him. He even felt that Qi Longxing had been reincarnated into the wrong body. This feeling was like a sheep encouraging its own sheep to befriend a wolf every day. However, the two of them were born to be enemies. Qi Longxing waved his hand. He did not seem to be in the mood to talk. He took the lead and walked toward the sky bridge. Let's go and see my mother first. As soon as Qin Fen stepped onto the sky bridge, he felt a very obscure aura of a formation. This aura was old and strong. It was very similar to some of the great ancient formations he had encountered before. As a rank 5 spiritual formation master, discovering the great ancient formations was very important to Qin Fen. He could not wait to immediately sit cross-legged on the sky bridge and start studying the formations here. However, in the end, he gave up on this idea. At the end of the day, this was still the territory of the 3 northern islands. Right now, he was completely under Qi Longxing's protection. Qi Longxing's status and reputation here was not good. Qin Fen did not want to cause him any more trouble. Chapter 1987. Brother Qi, why do I suddenly feel that the spirit Qi is much denser after crossing this bridge? Qin Fen asked curiously. The two of them had just crossed the bridge. When they walked on the bridge, their divine senses couldn't reach the end. They didn't know how long they had walked, but they suddenly reached the end. The spiritual Qi on both sides of the bridge had undergone a huge change, and the environment was also very different. Qi Longxing seemed to be used to this change, and explained, Brother Qin, it's not just this bridge. The other 2 bridges are also in the same situation. The 3 northern islands are separated by 3 bridges, and the climate and environment on each island are very different. As for the reason behind this, even my father doesn't know. Qin Fen had previously guessed that this bridge not only had a flight restriction formation, but also a teleportation formation. After hearing Qi Longxing's words, he was even more convinced of his guess. Other than a teleportation formation, Qin Fen couldn't think of any other reason that would cause the environment on both sides of the bridge to be so different. Not only did he guess that there was a teleportation formation on the bridge, but he also felt that the distance of this teleportation formation was definitely not short. According to the knowledge of Qi Longxing and the other demonic cultivators, the 3 islands that were connected to each other were very likely to be 3 independent islands separated by tens of thousands of li. Qin Fen could not imagine how Qi Longxing would feel if he knew his speculation. In the end, Qin Fen didn't say this. After all, this was only a guess. He planned to say it after he completely understood it. After crossing the bridge, the flight restriction formation disappeared. The two of them sat on Qi Longxing's flying ship and arrived at a valley. Brother Qin, this heavenly water cave is where my mother and I live. Because my father has a lot of wives and concubines, he usually doesn't come here, Qi Longxing explained as he walked towards the cave. Qi Longxing's mother was one of the Black Snake King's wives, but there wasn't even a guard outside the cave. This showed that the status of these wives was also very ordinary, not to mention the status of the harem. However, the cave had been renovated. There was a row of luminous pearls embedded in the rock walls, and a row of low-grade spirit herbs planted in the corners. Moreover, as soon as Qin Fen walked into the cave, he felt the aura of a formation. It was a great 4 spirit gathering formation. Mother, how has your body been recently? When he reached the end of the cave, he saw a large circular cave. In the corner of the cave was a jade bed, on which lay a demonic cultivator with a human body and the tail of a snake. That female Taoist was Qi Longxing's mother. At this moment, she was sprawled on the jade bed without getting up. She looked to be in her early 30s and was a peerless beauty. However, her face was as pale as paper and her aura was extremely weak. You're back. Is that your friend? Qin Fan immediately stepped forward, cupped his hands, and said, Junior Qin Fan greets Senior. Qi Longxing introduced, Brother Qin, this is my mother. Her name is Yu Jiao. Mother, Qin Feng is a human friend I just met. Perhaps it was because Qi Longxing often brought human friends back, but Yu Jiao did not show any unusual expression when she saw Qin Feng. Instead, she smiled amiably and nodded at him. Brother Qi, is your mother's divine knowledge severely damaged? Qin Fan suddenly asked. Qi Longxing and Yu Jiao's expressions changed drastically as they stared at Qin Feng in disbelief. Qi Longxing cried out in surprise, Brother Qin, how did you know? My mother was already at the peak of the body condensation realm before she was injured. There's no way you could see through her divine knowledge. Yu Jiao was even more shocked than Qi Longxing because she had already seen through Qin Feng's cultivation. He had just stepped into the empty god realm level 3. She did not believe that Qin Feng could see through her divine knowledge. Indeed, Qin Fan did not use his divine sense to check Yu Jiao's divine sense. That kind of behavior was very disrespectful. On the Divine Supreme Continent, low-level cultivators were killed because they used their divine sense to scan high-level cultivators. Moreover, even if Qin Feng's divine knowledge was much stronger than cultivators of the same level, his divine knowledge was only as strong as an early-stage body condensation realm cultivator. On the other hand, Yu Jiao's cultivation was at the peak of the body condensation realm. Qin Feng could not see through her divine knowledge even if he wanted to. Brother Qi, you've misunderstood me. Of course I can't see through your mother's divine knowledge. Moreover, I would not do such disrespectful things. It's just that your mother's face is pale and her aura is weak. She does not have any obvious external injuries, so she most likely suffered a serious internal injury. Moreover, Senior Yu Jiao has been staying in the Heavenly Water Cave abode for a long time. No one would dare to hurt her here. This means that Senior has been injured for a long time and is unable to recover. This can only mean that her divine knowledge is injured. Qi Longxing and Yu Jiao stared at Qin Feng with their eyes wide open. His analysis was so logical and meticulous that it was terrifying. Brother Qin, you're really amazing. You're right, Mother's divine knowledge is indeed severely injured. Qi Longxing's mood instantly sank at the mention of his mother's illness. There are no elixirs in the entire South Flat continent that can heal the divine knowledge. It's said that the West Sea continent and the East Field continent have such elixirs. Unfortunately, I'm only at the Hollow God realm now. Mother won't let me cross the Divine Fall Sea to those two continents. I can only cultivate hard and wait until the day I step into the Disaster Transformation realm before I can travel far. Yu Jiao forced herself to sit on the jade bed and patted Qi Longxing's head. She smiled and said, Silly child, the West Sea continent and the East Field continent might not have elixirs that can heal the divine knowledge. Moreover, even if you step into the Disaster Transformation realm, Mother won't let you take the risk. It's said that only true form realm cultivators can barely survive in the depths of the Divine Fall Sea. Qin Feng was speechless. He had only heard of true form realm cultivators but had never seen one. He had not even seen a Disaster Transformation realm cultivator. He had only seen some cauldron-filling realm cultivators. However, crossing the Divine Fall Sea required at least a true form realm cultivator. Moreover, true form realm cultivators were only at the bottom of the Divine Fall Sea. This rumor made Qin Feng suspicious. Mother, those are just rumors. Even the East Field continent, the most prosperous cultivation continent in the Divine Honor continent, how many true form realm cultivators are there? If even true form realm cultivators die in the depths of the Divine Fall Sea, then I'm afraid there are no more true form realm cultivators in the Divine Honor continent, Qi Longxing said. Yu Jiao shook her head and said, the Divine Honor continent's heritage is far beyond your imagination. It said that tens of thousands of years ago was the peak of the continent's spiritual energy. There were countless void spirit realm cultivators and body condensation realm cultivators. Cauldron-filling realm and disaster transformation realm cultivators had just entered the divine realm. True form realm cultivators were only considered ordinary cultivators. There were countless true God realm cultivators. Many cultivators on the Divine Honor continent had heard of this rumor, but they were still skeptical about its authenticity. Qin Feng came back to his senses. He realized that the depth of the Divine Fall Sea had nothing to do with him. His priority was to complete the task at hand. "Brother Qi, I have a way to heal your mother," Qin Feng suddenly said. Qi Longxing was stunned. His mouth opened and closed, but no words came out. Even Yu Jiao, who was at the peak of the body condensation realm, lost her composure. She sat up straight and looked at Qin Feng in shock. "What did you just say?" Yu Jiao raised her voice. Qin Feng used his divine sense to scan the surroundings. He threw out a dozen array flags and set up a simple soundproof array. The secret of the aromatic consciousness pill was very important. He had to be careful. If the secret of the aromatic consciousness pill being able to heal one's divine sense was leaked, the entire South Flat continent and even the Divine Honor continent would be alerted. "Brother Qin, what are you doing?" Qi Longxing was confused. Yu Jiao could tell that he had set up a simple soundproof array. "Don't worry, young hero Qin. The Heavenly Water Cave abode is my private territory. No one would dare to use their divine sense to enter." Qin Feng nodded and said, "Caution is the parent of safety. Senior Yu Jiao, I found a bottle of pills in an ancient cave abode. It can heal one's divine sense. I'll give it to you now." Qin Feng took out a bottle of aromatic consciousness pill. This pill was a priceless treasure to any cultivator on the Divine Honor continent. However, it was nothing in Qin Feng's eyes. Back in the North Sand continent's Violet Cloud Valley's secret territory, White Spirit Mountain, he had cheated the old man sealed in the cave of many aromatic flowers and 100 herds grass. These two spiritual herbs were the main ingredients for refining the aromatic consciousness pill. When he gave away the bottle of aromatic consciousness pill, Qin Feng couldn't help but think of the North Sand continent's Fei City's governor, Fei Baisong, and the great elder, Fei Shan. Qin Feng had injured their divine sense and promised to refine pills for them to heal their divine sense. Thus, the two of them came to him. However, he still didn't have the time to heal their divine sense. Yu Jiao and Qi Longxing couldn't recognize the whole bottle of aromatic consciousness pill in front of them. It was their first time seeing this kind of pill. Could it really heal one's divine sense? "Young hero Qin, I appreciate your kindness. However, rumor has it that there are no pills that can heal one's divine sense in the Divine Honor continent. However, there are some pills that can heal divine sense. You should keep this bottle of pills." Yu Jiao pushed the jade bottle back. Qin Feng was speechless. He knew that once the aromatic consciousness pill was released, it would be even more sensational than the spirit surge pill. However, Yu Jiao still came back. "Senior Yu Jiao, why don't you try one of the pills first? No matter what, this bottle of pills definitely has no side effects. As Qi Longxing's good brother, how could I harm Senior?" Qin Feng couldn't reveal the truth about the aromatic consciousness pill. Even if he believed that Yu Jiao and Qi Longxing would help him keep the secret, this secret was too important. The two of them might give themselves away in front of others. Since Qin Feng had put it this way, Yu Jiao couldn't refuse. Qi Longxing was full of anxiety. He didn't want Qin Feng to be sad, but he was also worried that something would happen to his mother after taking the pill. After all, his mother's divine sense was severely damaged. If something else happened, it would be very troublesome. "Brother Qin, why don't you let me try one of the pills first?" Qi Longxing suddenly suggested. Qin Feng understood what he was thinking, and he was instantly speechless. This was a bottle of aromatic consciousness pill. If it was revealed, it would shake the entire Divine Honor continent. Every pill was a unique treasure. How could it be used as a test? Qi Longxing's opponent was Qin Feng, so he didn't care about the aromatic consciousness pill at all. All right. Try one and try it. Qin Feng didn't refuse. The aromatic consciousness pill had a miraculous effect on healing and nourishing one's divine sense. Even if Qi Longxing's divine sense was never damaged, it could still purify and strengthen it. Chapter 1988. Qi Longxing swallowed a spiritual pill without saying anything. It was as if he had eaten a piece of bubble gum. Even Qin Feng, who didn't care much about the spiritual pill, felt depressed when he saw this scene. The pill melted in his mouth and emitted a rich aroma. Yu Jiao smelled the aroma and said, "If I'm not wrong, this is a Tier 17 King pill. As for what kind of pill it is, I really haven't seen it before." As a peak body condensation realm expert, Yu Jiao had an understanding of Tier 17 King pills. However, she couldn't understand what Qin Feng took out this bottle of pills. Not long after he ate the pill, Qi Longxing felt the inner energy in his body start to flow backwards and rush into his mind. This was the first time he had encountered this kind of situation. He immediately showed a look of panic. Not good, this pill is probably a demonic pill. I think I'm going to go crazy. Yu Jiao immediately grabbed Qi Longxing's wrist and sent some inner energy into his body. Her expression changed drastically. Qi quickly seal your mind. Young hero Qin, what kind of pill is this? Why is there such a strange reaction? Although Yu Jiao was still calling Qin Feng young hero Qin, a faint murderous aura shot out from her body. Qin Feng didn't care about this. Anyone who saw something strange happening to their son's body would be anxious. Senior Yu Jiao, this is a normal reaction from the pill. The reason why I dared to say that this bottle of pill can repair the mind is because I ate one before. After eating the pill, you will feel the inner energy in your body go out of control and flow backwards into the mind. This process is the effect of the pill. It has the miraculous effect of automatically repairing the mind. Qin Feng's situation was exactly the same as Qi Longxing's, but Yu Jiao still had a worried expression. Qi Longxing quickly calmed down. Although he hadn't known Qin Feng for long, he trusted Qin Feng's character. Since Qin Feng had personally eaten this kind of pill, there was nothing for him to be afraid of. Qi Longxing had already released his body and allowed the inner energy to flow into his mind. After a moment, his mouth opened wide and an expression of disbelief appeared on his face. Qi, are you okay? Yu Jiao was anxious at the side. Qin Feng smiled and said, Senior Yu Jiao, I believe that the medicinal effects of the medicine have completely taken effect, and Brother Qi's divine knowledge C has been nourished and strengthened. Qi Longxing looked at Qin Feng and nodded repeatedly. Then, he said to Yu Jiao, Mother, this is really a miraculous pill that can repair the sea of consciousness. Hurry and try one. I can see that the damage to Senior Yu Jiao's knowledge C is quite serious. Furthermore, it has been so long. I'm afraid that just one medicinal pill won't be able to completely heal her. Why don't you take 2 medicinal pills at once? Qin Feng suggested. Since Qi Long had already tasted the fragrant scents pill, Yu Jiao didn't hold back anymore. She poured out 2 pills from the jade bottle and swallowed them, then sat back down on the jade bed and began her closed-door cultivation. 6 hours later, Yu Jiao slowly opened her eyes. Qi Longxing immediately walked up and asked, Mother, how do you feel? Qin Feng didn't need Yu Jiao's reply to know that the perfumed consciousness pill was effective. At this time, although Yu Jiao's complexion couldn't be said to be rosy and glossy, it was much better than before when she was as pale as paper. Moreover, the aura on her body was clearly much stronger, unlike before when it was intermittent. Amazing! This bottle of medicinal pills is really amazing. Only Yu Jiao knew her own body's condition the best. She had long despaired over her heavily injured knowledge sea. Originally, she thought that she would never be able to improve her cultivation in this lifetime, and might even gradually fall as time went by. Unexpectedly, 2 medicinal pills had allowed her to regain the senses of her knowledge sea. Yu Jiao immediately swept out her knowledge sea. This feeling that she hadn't felt for a long time made her ecstatic. Ever since her knowledge sea was heavily injured, she couldn't even control her knowledge sea. She often couldn't sense the existence of her knowledge sea. When she swept out her knowledge sea, Yu Jiao was sure that the bottle of medicinal pills was really useful. She immediately got off the bed and cupped her fists towards Qin Feng. Young hero Qin, thank you for your medicinal pills. These are miraculous pills that can heal one's knowledge sea. You generously took them out. It is Qi Er's good fortune to have a friend like you. Qin Feng waved his hand and said, Senior Yu Jiao is too polite. This bottle of medicinal pills is indeed precious, but I have no use for them now. Naturally, I will take them out for Senior's urgent use. I see that Senior's injuries haven't fully healed yet, so I will give the remaining medicinal pills in the jade bottle to Senior. Qin Feng only had 1 bottle of scent pill in his possession, and it was concocted by him a long time ago. He had concocted 12 scent pills in one go, and now he gave them all to Yu Jiao. Qin Feng wasn't afraid that his knowledge sea would be injured in the future and he wouldn't have enough medicinal pills to use. This was because he still had a few fragrant flowers and 100 herds grass in his storage ring. He could concoct scent pills at any time. Yu Jiao and Qi Long were stunned. They already knew the miraculous effects of the scent pill and knew how precious this bottle of medicinal pills was. Yet, Qin Feng gave it away for free without hesitation. Young hero Qin, I appreciate your kindness, but I, Yu Jiao, am not a greedy person. You can take the remaining medicinal pills back. If one day your knowledge sea is injured, keep them and use them. Yu Jiao pushed the jade bottle back to Qin Feng. Qi Long also nodded at Qin Feng. Qin Feng admired the mother and son's character. He took out another jade bottle and poured out 2 medicinal pills. These 2 are spirit cleansing pills. They can remove pill toxins from one's body. I found them in the same cave. You can take these pills. Qin Feng had found the spirit cleansing pills on the 0th level of the 13 palaces when he met Yuanqiu, who was running for her life, and saved her. Then, he obtained the 100 Immortals flower and concocted a cauldron of spirit cleansing pills. Qi Long and Qi Long's expressions changed drastically. They hadn't completely recovered from the shock of the scent pill, and now they were shocked by the spirit cleansing pills. Brother Qin, you actually have so many precious medicinal pills. Although there are medicinal pills that can remove pill toxins in the South Plateau continent, they are extremely rare. You can't buy them even if you have the money, Qi Long said after regaining his senses. Yu Jiao's expression became serious. Young hero Qin, you mustn't reveal these medicinal pills to others. Otherwise, you will be killed. Don't worry, Senior. I know this, Qin Feng said with a smile. They chatted for a while more before Qin Feng and Qi Long left the Heavenly Water Cave. Yu Jiao's condition had just improved, and she needed to rest and recuperate. After leaving the cave, Qi Long's eyes were still filled with shock. He started to look at Qin Feng in a new light. Qin Feng was only at the 3rd level of the Void God Realm, but he was able to instantly kill the 4th level of the Void God Realm, the White Dragon 3rd Majesty. It was clear that he was a top genius among human cultivators. He also had many mystical pills on him. He might even be a disciple of a 7-star sect in the South Plateau continent. Although he was very curious, Qilong didn't ask too much in the end. The reason why he befriended Qin Feng was because of Qin Feng's character, and not because of the power behind him or anything else. "Oh right, Brother Qin, you said that you came to Grey Island to do something. If it's convenient, I might be able to help you," Qilong said after regaining his composure. Qin Feng took out the treasure map that Aku had given him, pointed at the location of the treasure, and asked, "Brother Qi, what is this place?" Qilong wasn't in a hurry to answer. When he saw the map that Qin Feng opened, he was shocked. "Brother Qin, where did you get this map of Grey Island?" Qin Feng realized that something was wrong. "A senior gave it to me." "Is there a problem?" "There's a big problem. This map is too detailed. Even my royal father's map of Grey Island isn't as detailed as Brother Qin's," Qilong said. Qin Feng already knew that the map that Aku gave him wasn't ordinary, but he didn't expect it to be so valuable. Qilong continued, "Because Grey Island is divided into 3 regions, and each region has its own king, it's very hard to get a comprehensive map of Grey Island. Even the leaders of the 3 regions can only get a detailed map of their own region. Brother Qin's map of Grey Island is very detailed for all 3 regions. This can only mean one thing. The person who drew this map has been to the 3 regions of Grey Island. After Grey Island was occupied and divided into regions, this kind of thing couldn't have happened. Unless the person drew this map 1,000 years ago, he wouldn't have been able to traverse the 3 regions of Grey Island." Qin Feng understood what Qilong meant. 1,000 years ago, Grey Island was divided into 3 regions. Each region could only be entered by Yao cultivators of the same tribe. Moreover, each region had deep forbidden areas. Even Yao cultivators of the same tribe were forbidden to enter those places. Only the great protectors and leaders of the tribe could enter those places. The panoramic map of Grey Island that Aku gave him had drawn all the places. Even the forbidden areas were very detailed. "Ha! Isn't this the Sword Peak? Why isn't it marked?" Qilong questioned. Qin Feng's expression changed. He immediately asked, "Sword Peak? The Sword Peak that's even more famous than the 3 regions of Grey Island?" "Yes. The Sword Domain is there. It opens once a year, and each time it opens for a month. This year, the Sword Domain will open in a month," Qilong said. Qin Feng didn't think that the treasure that Aku was looking for was on the Sword Peak. He was a bit speechless. If he knew this earlier, he would have stayed with his father and grandfather in the 80-kilometer city. 1 month later, he would go to the Sword Peak with Axayan Hai and help Axayan Hai participate in the Sword Domain competition while searching for the treasure. Knowing that the treasure was near the Sword Peak, Qin Feng immediately had many questions. "Brother Qi, isn't the Sword Peak more famous than the 3 regions of Grey Island? This map is so detailed. Why didn't it mark the Sword Peak?" Qilong frowned and said, "This is also the question I was wondering about. Logically, it shouldn't have been marked. It was because the Sword Peak wasn't marked on the treasure map that Qin Feng left the 80-kilometer city and came to Grey Island. Otherwise, he would have stayed in the 80-kilometer city. Brother Qin wants to challenge the Sword Domain." Qilong couldn't understand. In the end, he didn't want to think about it anymore. Qin Feng didn't know much about the Sword Domain, so he could learn more from Qilong. "That's right. The reason I came to Grey Island this time is to challenge the Sword Domain. It's my first time doing so. Is there anything I should pay attention to?" Every year, there are many human and beast cultivators who challenge the Sword Domain. It's said that every cultivator only has 1 chance to challenge the Sword Domain. Once you leave the Sword Domain, you won't be able to enter again. that's why many cultivators wait until they're fully prepared before challenging the sword domain. Until now, I still haven't dared to enter. I'm afraid that I'll fail after challenging a few levels. However, since Brother Qin wants to challenge the sword domain this time, I'll go with you. Let's enter the sword domain side by side. Who knows, we might be able to pass a few more levels. Chapter 1989. Qin Fan found out from Xian Hai that there were 9 levels to the Sword Realm. It was said that those who could step into the 5th level were extremely powerful and would gain unimaginable enlightenment. As for what exactly it was, many cultivators who hadn't been there before didn't know. However, Qin Fan knew that the enlightenment was the understanding of the realm and the field. This was also the reason why Xian Hai invited him to challenge the Sword Realm. Brother Qi, I suggest that you don't challenge the Sword Realm for now. Qin Fan could tell that Qi Longxin hadn't reached the boundary of the realm. He had just found out that each person could only go to the Sword Realm once. If this was really the rule, then Qi Longxin would only be wasting his chance to challenge the Sword Realm now. Qi Longxin asked in confusion, why not? It's not suitable for you now. It won't be too late to go after you've comprehended the realm, Qin Fan said. Qi Longxin was shocked. Brother Qin, don't tell me you've already comprehended the realm. Qin Fan didn't hide it. I've already reached the initial success stage. That's why I was able to kill the White Jiao third prince so easily. What? You've already reached the initial success stage when you're only at the Void Spirit Realm level 3? Qi Longxin was shocked. Why would I lie to you, Brother Qi? Let's go. Take me to the bridge. Qin Fan didn't want to talk about the initial success stage. This was too strange. There wasn't a second person in the entire South Flat continent who had comprehended the realm in the late stage of the True Spirit Realm and was about to reach the major success stage in the early stage of the Void Spirit Realm. Qin Fan couldn't be described as a genius anymore. Even the genius disciples of the 7-star sects paled in comparison to him. He was a monster. Qi Longxin didn't know why Qin Fan was going to the bridge, but he still brought him there. After arriving at the bridge, Qin Fan sat cross-legged and looked like he was going to enter seclusion. Qi Longxin was confused. Brother Qin, aren't we crossing the bridge? Qi Longxin asked. I came to the bridge to study the formation here. If Brother Qi is bored, you can walk around, Qin Fan said honestly. Qi Longxin was stunned. He didn't think that Qin Feng was also a formation master. If he didn't know about formations, how could he have come to the bridge to study formations? A human cultivator who wasn't even 30 years old had reached Nihility God stage level 3 and was even a formation master. Qi Longxin didn't know how to praise Qin Fan anymore. In the past, he was proud of his cultivation speed, but now, standing in front of Qin Fan, he felt ashamed. It was also because he didn't know that Qin Feng was a Tier 5 Tier 7 pill king. Previously, the scent pill and spirit cleansing pill were personally refined by him. Otherwise, who knew how shocked he would be? Qi Longxin did not leave. He was afraid that his fellow demon cultivators would come looking for trouble with Qin Fan. Qin Fan sat quietly on the bridge. From time to time, a few Yao cultivators would cross the bridge. When the Yao cultivators saw that there were human cultivators here, they were surprised and displeased. However, when they saw Qi Longxin standing behind Qin Fan, the Yao cultivators all shook their heads and sighed. Some of them even cursed loudly before leaving. Qi Longxin was already used to being misunderstood by his own kind. He couldn't be bothered with them. Qin Fan didn't care about them either. He focused all his attention on sensing the aura of the formation. An hour later, he found the flight restriction formation. It was indeed an ancient flight restriction formation. The aura of the formation was extremely ancient. It was very similar to the aura of the Seven Stars Formation in the Violet Afterglow Valley Mystic Realm in the Northern Sand Continent and the Grade 9 Spatial Isolation Formation at the entrance of the 10,000 Insect Valley. Qianfen couldn't tell what grade the Flight Restriction Formation on the bridge was. It was at least a Grade 6 formation. Qianfen guessed that it was probably a Grade 9 Flight Restriction Formation. It was no wonder that even the number 1 formation sect in the South Flat Continent, the 10,000 Array sect, was helpless against the Flight Restriction Formation on the bridge. An ancient formation like this was set up by an ancient powerhouse. After thousands or even tens of thousands of years, it still existed. It was clear how powerful the formation was. Qianfen didn't even have the intention of trying to break the formation. He knew that with his current formation skills and the strength of his true essence, it was impossible for him to break the Flight Restriction Formation on the bridge. However, this formation was extremely profound. He could use it to study it in depth. Just as Qianfen was immersed in the profound mysteries of the formation, the Creation Chapter's mantra automatically activated. Qianfen's mind suddenly became clear. Countless thoughts flashed through his mind. That invisible and intangible formation actually formed a spatial structure in his mind. It was as if it was placed before his eyes in a vivid and lifelike manner. Qianfen was pleasantly surprised. He quickly checked the method of setting up the Flight Restriction Formation, the positions of the formation flags, the setting of the formation eye, the supply and recycling of the formation's energy. Each of these knowledge was profound. However, Qianfen didn't retreat at all. He practiced the formation model in front of him over and over again. Perhaps it was because of the effects of the Creation Chapter's mantra, but his comprehension ability was extremely strong. After continuous practice and corrections, his understanding of formations had unknowingly reached a whole new level. So that's how it is. A formation can be set up like this. It's indeed profound. In the blink of an eye, 3 days passed. Following Qianfen's sudden shout, his figure was already in midair. He continuously threw out formation flags in his hands. It was a spectacular sight, like a celestial maiden scattering flowers. Qi Longxing was already dumbfounded. From Qianfen's practiced method of setting up the formation, he realized that Qianfen wasn't just a formation master. He was also a very powerful formation master. In fact, he was even a Grade 5 spirit formation master. While he was in a daze, a simple spirit gathering formation was formed. Instantly, spirit vortexes surged from the bottom of the bridge. They quickly rose to the top of the bridge like a dense spirit cloud. Ha ha ha. As expected, I've finally become a Grade 6 formation grandmaster. Qianfen raised his head to the sky and laughed. Qi Longxing didn't have the time to care about Qianfen's advancement to formation grandmaster. He realized that the bridge was already completely surrounded by spirit cloud vortexes. The spirit fog even affected one's vision. It made one feel as if they were in a paradise. Brother Qi, what's going on? Qianfen also realized the situation. Qi Longxing found it hard to explain. I don't know either. It's just that after Brother Qin scattered the formation flags, countless spiritual vortexes rose from the bottom of the bridge, and then it became this paradise. I've never seen a place with such dense spiritual energy before. If I were to cultivate here, my efficiency would most likely double. Qianfen's expression changed. He had already guessed some of the secrets. What he had just set up was a simple Grade 6 spirit gathering formation. Even though it was just a simple formation, it was still a test for formation masters. When the simple spirit gathering formation was formed, Qianfen knew that he had officially stepped into the level of a Grade 6 formation grandmaster. Unexpectedly, this action caused the spirit energy of the bridge to change. This meant that there was a very dense spirit energy under the bridge. It was very likely that there was a spirit vein. When he thought of the spirit vein, Qin Fen was sure that there was a spirit vein under the bridge. This spirit vein provided the energy for the forbidden space formation and the transportation formation on the bridge. This was why the ancient formation on the bridge had been preserved until now. However, to use a spirit vein as the energy supply for a formation, this kind of extravagance was truly shocking. Even a nouveau riche like Qin Fen was dumbfounded. Brother Qi, I understand now. This bridge is the transportation formation. That's why after crossing the bridge, the climate and environment of the islands on both sides of the bridge changed greatly. Qin Fen's previous guess was confirmed. This news completely changed Qi Longxing's understanding. From the moment he was born, he thought that the three northern islands were connected. It was just a bridge that separated them. Brother Qin, are you sure you're not mistaken? I don't know how many times I've walked this bridge, but I've never seen a transportation formation door. Qi Longxing didn't dare to believe it. All transportation formations had an entrance and exit. It was precisely because of this that Qin Fen didn't dare to confirm the existence of a transportation formation when he first stepped on the bridge. He didn't even find the entrance, but he had already walked to the other side of the bridge. But now, he had seen through the mystery of the entrance. Brother Qi, actually, the moment we stepped on the bridge, we already entered the transportation formation door, Qin Fen said. Qi Longxing still didn't understand. What do you mean? Qin Fen said concisely. This bridge is the entrance to the formation door. When we walk on the bridge, we are actually teleporting inside the formation. Ah. There's such a transportation formation. This is the first time I've heard of it. Qi Longxing was shocked. Even Qin Fen was seeing such a mystical transportation formation for the first time. It could actually hide the formation door in a physical object and make it completely undetectable. There's no doubt that there's a teleportation array hidden in this bridge. But now, I've thought of something else. You said that your father had invited the sect master of Myriad Array sect to check the bridge, but he couldn't break it. Is that true? Qin Feng's expression turned solemn. Qi Longxing was still in a daze from the transportation formation. He subconsciously said, that's right. At that time, the sect leader of All Array Gate personally brought people over. They were all formation experts, but they couldn't think of a way to break the formation. Qin Fen had long heard of All Array Gate. Not long ago, he had even killed their genius disciple Wanli at the genius meeting. All Array Gate was the only 6-star formation sect in South Plain State. It was rumored that the most powerful formation master in South Plain State was in All Array Gate and had already reached the level of a level 6 formation grandmaster. Meanwhile, Qin Fen had only just become a formation grandmaster. Yet, he had already seen through the transportation formation on the bridge. He didn't believe that All Array Gate didn't discover this transportation formation when they came to look at the bridge. At that time, All Array Gate only said that they couldn't break the flight restriction formation and didn't say anything else. Qin Fen asked. Qi Longxing had already woken up. He realized that Qin Fen seemed to have discovered something fishy. He immediately replied seriously, I was there too. All Array Gate didn't say anything else. They just looked at the bridge and said that they couldn't break the flight restriction formation before leaving. Then who was the one who suggested letting All Array Gate look at the formation? Qi Longxing thought for a moment and said with a cold expression, among the 8 claws who brought the protector of Nanming Palace to capture Brother Qin, that guy is the most despicable. He specially makes things difficult for human cultivators, 8 claws. Qin Fen revealed a look of deep thought. After a moment, he said to Qi Longxing, then why did your father want to break the flight restriction formation on the bridge? Chapter 1990. Qi Longxing said, Father isn't the only one who wants to break the flight restriction formation on the bridges. It can be said that all the demon cultivators on the 3 northern islands hope to break the flight restriction formation on the 3 bridges. Without it, we can fly over the 3 islands at any time. With the flight restriction formation, you can only take the bridges to reach the other islands, right? Qin Fan asked. Qi Longxin nodded. That's right, Brother Qin. These 3 bridges are a bit unnecessary and hinder our movement. Qin Fan's expression changed. No one knew what he was thinking. Seeing that he was deep in thought, Qi Longxin didn't disturb him. After a while, Qin Fan suddenly leaped up and flew into the spirit cloud layer. His figure disappeared. Hundreds of formation flags fell like arrows piercing through the clouds, covering the entire bridge. Brother Qin, what are you doing? Qi Longxin couldn't help but ask curiously. Qin Fan didn't answer. He was fully focused on setting up the formation. When he heard that the sect leader of the All-Formation sect had brought people to investigate the flight restriction formation, he felt that it was strange. When he learned that the All-Formation sect was invited by Ba Ji, this matter became even more suspicious. A few days ago, Qin Fan had seen Ba Ji. That guy had a close relationship with the protector of Nanming Temple and seemed to be dissatisfied with the demon cultivators of the 3 northern islands. Qin Fan couldn't help but have a bold guess. Ba Ji had invited the All-Formation sect to study the formation with a purpose. Perhaps the All-Formation sect wasn't interested in the flight restriction formation, but the teleportation formation. When Qin Fan saw that there was a teleportation formation on the bridge, he immediately realized a serious problem. If the teleportation formation on the bridge was destroyed, it would be difficult for the demon cultivators on both sides of the bridge to travel. This was a huge hidden danger. However, this was just Qin Fan's guess. He had always been cautious and would rather believe it than not. Thus, he set up a teleportation formation on the bridge, which could move the formation door of the teleportation formation to a nearby location. At this moment, Qin Fan would never have thought that this small, impromptu act of his would one day save the Black Snake King's tribe. When the teleportation formation was set up, Qin Fan landed on the bridge. Brother Qi, take me to the other 2 bridges. Qi Longxin didn't know what Qin Fan was thinking, but he could tell that Qin Fan was setting up a formation on the bridge. Brother Qin, what formation are you setting up? A Class 6 teleportation formation. It can move the entrance of the teleportation formation on the bridge. Once I've set up the teleportation formation on the other 2 bridges, I'll teach you how to activate the teleportation formation. Qin Fan did not hide the truth. The reason he had set up the teleportation formation was to leave a way out for Qi Longxin and his clansmen. Under Qi Longxin's lead, the 2 of them went to the other 2 sky bridges. Just as he had guessed, these 2 sky bridges also had a sky ceiling formation and a hidden teleportation formation. The formation door of the teleportation formation was also hidden on the sky bridge. Qin Fan set up a level 6 teleportation array on each of the overhead bridges. He had just become a level 6 array formation grandmaster not long ago, so he could use the teleportation array to strengthen his array formation skills. When the formation was completed, Qi Longxin was abruptly jolted awake. Only now did he realize a shocking truth. Brother Qin, you're actually a tier 6 array grandmaster? Qin Fan said gloomily, Brother Qi, I already told you when I became a formation grandmaster. Qi Longxin was attracted by the spirit cloud surging from the bottom of the bridge and did not pay attention to Qin Fan's words. Now that he realized this, he was so shocked that he mumbled to himself, Monster. Brother Qin, you're really a monster. Knowing that the treasure Ah Ku was looking for was on the Sword Peak, Qin Fan decided to temporarily stay in the 3 northern ring islands to cultivate in seclusion. He would meet up with Xian Hai when the sword domain opened. He had been staying in Qi Longxing's private cave for the past few days. Although Qi Longxing was ostracized by the majority of his fellow demon cultivators, he was still the 8th son of the Black Snake King. Furthermore, he was also the son of the Empress, so no one dared to offend him. Qin Fan first consolidated his formation skills. He set up a Tier 6 defense formation and a Tier 6 killing formation in Qi Longxing's cave. It took him a whole week to set up these two formations. Fortunately, they were successfully completed in the end, and the effect of the formations was even better than he had imagined. After his formation skills were stabilized, he did not plan to break through to the next realm. Because he had recently leveled up continuously, from level 7 of the True Spirit to level 3 of the Empty God realm. If he did not first stabilize his current realm and blindly pursued a higher realm, it would not be worth it. Qin Fan took out the more than 10,000 spiritual crystals of fire that he had obtained in the cave in the Insect Valley. The surrounding temperature suddenly soared, and the air became illusory. The rock walls around the cave turned fiery red. Spiritual crystals of fire were the best cultivation resources for cultivators with spiritual root of fire and those who practiced fire attribute cultivation methods. At the same time, this kind of spiritual crystal of fire could also be used to store heavenly fire. However, its effect was much worse than the level 7 spiritual herb fire spirit lotus that Qin Fan had used before. Back in the cave in the Insect Valley, Qin Fan had used 3 fire spirit lotuses to upgrade the spirit sunflower kindling once. Now, he planned to use spiritual crystals of fire to continue strengthening the spirit sunflower. Qin Fan did not need to worry about the strengthening process. He just released the spirit sunflower kindling. This kind of spiritual heavenly fire automatically attached to the spiritual crystals of fire and began to absorb the energy. However, the effect of the spiritual crystals of fire was slower than Qin Fan had imagined. The spirit sunflower kindling needed 1 hour to absorb 1 spiritual crystal of fire. If it absorbed more than 10,000 spiritual crystals of fire, it would take a long time. Qin Fan was anxious and had the impulse to take out the 9-leaf fire spirit lotus. He was sure that this kind of mutated fire spirit lotus could definitely upgrade the spirit sunflower kindling for the second time. However, he only had 1 9-leaf fire spirit lotus, and this kind of level 9 spiritual herb had an even more nature-defying effect, which was to store primordial spirit. Primordial spirit would only be produced after breaking through the body condensation realm. In the end, Qin Fan gave up the idea of using the 9-leaf fire spirit lotus to upgrade the spirit sunflower kindling. He wanted to keep the 9-leaf fire spirit lotus until he reached the body condensation realm and refined it into elixirs. After a while, Qin Fan couldn't stand it anymore and let the spirit sunflower kindling absorb the spiritual crystals of fire on its own. He took out more than 1,000 soul crystals from his storage ring. He had brought more than 3,000 soul crystals from the 8th floor of the 13 palaces. After 2 rounds of cultivation, there were only about 1,000 left. Ever since he broke through to the Empty God realm level 3, Qin Fan felt that his sea of consciousness was extremely empty. When he took out more than 1,000 soul crystals, the soul homing technique that he was cultivating started to circulate automatically. His sea of consciousness surged and the energy in the soul crystals turned into green gas and flew into his brain. The empty sea of consciousness was quickly filled with energy. The speed of absorption was like a dry land absorbing water. Qin Fan couldn't handle the speed and a sharp pain came from his sea of consciousness. He quickly took out the fragrant fragrance flower and the 100 herbage and started refining the fragrant fragrance pill on the spot. The scent pill was only a Tier 1, Tier 7 king pill. With Qin Fang's current alchemy skills as a Tier 5, Tier 7 pill king, it only took him an hour to refine a batch of 12 scent pills. Furthermore, they were all of special grade. Qin Fan immediately swallowed 2 fragrant fragrance pills. Such precious pills that could be peerless in the divine continent were now ordinary pills in his sea of consciousness. The 2 fragrant fragrance pills quickly took effect. Turbulent true essence flowed into his brain. The pain in his sea of consciousness disappeared as if it was being nourished by rain. After the energy in the soul crystals was absorbed, they scattered like fossils in the wind. The pile of soul crystals that was originally like a small mountain was reduced again and again. In the end, all of them were absorbed by Qin Fen. Rumble. A muffled sound came from his brain. His sea of consciousness was like an erupting volcano. After it calmed down, he felt that his sea of consciousness had expanded a lot. When he released his soul consciousness, it covered a wide area. His soul consciousness condensed into a substance like a spider's web, as if it could entangle a person. My sea of consciousness has broken through again. Qin Fen was overjoyed. A black shadow flew into the cave and Qi Long's anxious voice came from the air. Brother Qin, what happened? Ha! It's nothing. I've broken through again. Qin Fen was in a good mood. Although he still didn't know the levels of the sea of consciousness, he could feel that his current sea of consciousness was even stronger than the early stages of the body condensation realm. What? Brother Qin broke through after half a month of closed-door cultivation? You really are a monster. The longer Qi Long knew Qin Fen, the more he felt Qin Fen's strength. He was stunned for a moment before continuing, wait, Brother Qin is still at the empty god realm level 3. Qin Fen smiled but didn't say anything. The breakthrough he was talking about was the breakthrough of his sea of consciousness. The significance of the breakthrough of the sea of consciousness was much more important than the breakthrough of his realm. I've been in closed-door cultivation for half a month. Looks like I'll have to go to the Sword Peak in a few days. Qin Fen changed the topic. Qi Long saw that he didn't want to talk about it, so he didn't pursue the topic. Oh right, Brother Qin, today is the day of the Tsang Island selection. Do you want to go to the High Sea City to have a look? Qin Fen asked, what is the Tsang Island selection? Is it a martial arts competition? Qin Fen had participated in many martial arts competitions. He guessed that the Tsang Island selection was a competition between beast cultivators. He wasn't interested. Qi Long said, it's not a martial arts competition. It's a beauty contest. Qin Fen was surprised. This was the first time he heard of a beauty contest since he came to the Divine Continent. Beauty contest. Hee hee. Brother Qin, are you interested? Qi Long revealed an expression that all men knew about. Qin Fen's interest was piqued. Recently, he didn't have any woman by his side. He had been wholeheartedly cultivating. Now that a beauty contest suddenly appeared, it was very attractive. What kind of place is the High Sea City? Is it far from here? Will there be any trouble if we go there? Even though he was tempted, Qin Fen still prioritized safety. Not long ago, he killed the third prince of the Nanming Temple. Now, he was being chased by the entire Nanming Temple. If he left the 3 northern islands rashly, he would most likely die. Qi Long had already considered these problems. He patted his chest and said, Brother Qin, don't worry. The High Sea City is very close to the 3 northern islands. It's only 100 miles away. My pinwheel flying ship can reach there in the time it takes for an incense stick to burn. As for inside the High Sea City, you don't have to worry about safety. The High Sea City is the only public city on the Tsang Island. Not only beast cultivators from the 3 regions of the Tsang Island can enter, but even human cultivators can also enter. Once you enter the High Sea City, you will receive the protection of the High Sea City. No one would dare to cause trouble inside. Chapter 1991. Qin Fen realized that the High Sea City was a public city similar to the Sky Connecting City and the 80-Mile City. According to Qi Longxing's introduction, the High Sea City was managed by the 3 leaders of the Green Islands demon race. Since the demon cultivators of the three regions couldn't interact with each other, they established the High Sea City to facilitate the exchange of resources between the demon cultivators. After the time it took for an incense stick to burn, the two arrived at the High Sea City. As soon as they got off the pinwheel flying ship, more than 10 demon cultivators flew over and surrounded them. "Ant-human, I knew you would come to the High Sea City. Let's see where you can run to now." An angry roar came from the crowd, accompanied by a violent burst of Jinyuan, attracting many onlookers. Qi Longxing's expression was grave. The people who came were Nanming Temple's great protector Vashi and the others. He didn't expect this old guy to be waiting for Qin Fun near the three northern islands. Qi Longxing immediately regretted it. He felt that he had harmed Qin Fun. If he had known earlier, he wouldn't have come to the beauty contest. However, Qin Fun's expression was calm, as if he wasn't worried about Vashi's existence at all. "Why are you looking for me?" Qin Fun asked in an arrogant manner. Vashi was so angry that his beard was puffing and his eyes were glaring. His clothes were fluttering due to the Jinyuan. "You tell me, why am I looking for you? You dared to kill the White Dragon Third Prince, so don't even think about leaving Grey Island alive." Whoosh! The onlookers started to clamor. "What? A human cultivator dares to cause trouble on Green Island? He even killed His Highness Bai Jiao of Nanming Temple? Rumor has it that Nanming Temple's great protector Vashi has already stepped into the cauldron-filling realm. That human ant is dead for sure. Isn't killing forbidden in the High Sea City? Does Nanming Temple dare to ignore the rules?" After knowing that Qin Fen had killed His Highness Bai Jiao, many people forgot that they were in the High Sea City. However, Qin Fen still remembered. Otherwise, he wouldn't have come here. "It's true that I killed Bai Jiao, but he initiated a life-and-death battle with me. In the end, I killed him." Seeing that Vashi really wanted to quibble, Qin Fen didn't wait for him to speak and said to Qi Longxing, "Brother Qi, do you still have the crystal ball? Let everyone see it and judge for me." Qi Longxing snapped out of his daze and immediately realized that he was in the High Sea City. His tense heart relaxed and he quickly took out a crystal ball. The crystal ball was thrown into the air and grew in size. Images began to appear on its surface. It was the White Flood Dragon's promise that life and death would be up to the heavens. Vashi was so angry that his expression turned sinister, but Qin Fen acted as if he didn't see it. He even smiled at him and said, "Vashi, since His Highness White Jiao Dragon has already made a promise, life and death are up to fate. Now that you've brought a group of experts from Nanming Palace to kill me, isn't this a little unreasonable? Or are all the demon cultivators of Nanming Palace like this?" Their words are like farts. Voila! The crowd went wild again. Qin Fen was the first person on Grey Island who dared to say such arrogant words in front of a cauldron-filling realm cultivator. Vashi was so angry that he wanted to swallow Qin Fen alive. However, he didn't dare to make a move. This was the High Sea City, which was jointly managed by the three northern islands, Nanming Palace, and East Dragon Palace. If he made a move here, it would be the same as Nanming Palace breaking the rules. He would probably be suppressed by East Dragon Palace and the three northern islands. "I don't believe that you'll hide in the three northern islands and the High Sea City forever. As soon as you appear in another sea region, I'll kill you immediately." Vashi left after saying some harsh words. The crowd that was watching the show also quickly dispersed. After knowing that Vashi had been secretly watching him, Qin Fen's mood became heavy. How could he go to the Sword Peak? "Brother Qin, it's all my fault. If I knew this would happen, I wouldn't have come to the High Sea City." Qi Longxing's face was full of guilt. Qin Fen patted his shoulder and said, "Brother Qi, don't blame yourself. This isn't your fault. On the contrary, because I came to the High Sea City this time, I found out that Vashi has been secretly waiting for me. Now, what I'm most worried about is how to leave the high sea city. Qin Fen fell into deep thought. Qi Longxing also started thinking, but after thinking for a long time, he still couldn't think of a feasible way. At this time, cheers came from the high sea city's plaza. When Qin Fen came back to his senses, he saw that the plaza was already surrounded by people. Not only were there beast cultivators in the crowd, but there were also many human cultivators. Everyone surrounded the plaza, cheering and screaming. In the center of the plaza, a light platform rose. Qin Fen could see that it was a level 6 defense formation. On the light platform, there were thousands of beautiful women in bright clothes, each with their own merits. Brother Qin, the beauty contest has begun. Qi Longxing suddenly became excited. Looking at the various beauties on the round platform, he momentarily cast aside all his worries. What is the beauty contest? Are the cultivators at the side of the plaza choosing the thousands of beauties on the platform? Qin Fen was puzzled. Qi Longxing revealed a manly smile. How is that possible? Who would participate in such a boring thing? The beauty contest is to choose beauties. If Brother Qin takes a fancy to any of them, you can also bid. Qin Fen didn't expect the beauty contest to be like this. It seemed that he had misunderstood. He instantly lost interest in this beauty contest. This was no different from the brothels in ancient China. Qin Fen even felt disgusted. However, Qi Longxing was in high spirits. In the eyes of beast cultivators, the annual beauty contest was a very important event. This was because among the offspring of humans and beast cultivators, there were some extremely talented genius cultivators. Therefore, beast cultivators would find human beauties to copulate with and try to produce outstanding offspring. Brother Qin, use your human sense of beauty to help me see which is the beauty. Qi Longxing had already pulled Qin Fen to the side of the plaza. Qin Fen casually swept his gaze over the 1,000 women trapped in the level 6 defense formation. More than half of them were human cultivators. These female cultivators didn't have high cultivation bases, but they were all beautiful women with fair skin. Thinking about their fate of being sold to strangers to copulate and have children, Qin Fen felt some sympathy. Brother Qi, it's better if you don't buy them. Two people need to be willing to be together. Even if these forcibly bought women are beautiful, their hearts won't be yours, Qin Fen advised. Qi Longxing looked at Qin Fen in surprise. But all the human concubines in my royal father's palace are bought this way. Qin Fen knew that Qi Longxing had been influenced by his environment since he was young. Some of his thoughts had long been solidified. For example, he had always thought that the 3 northern islands were connected by a bridge. Then Brother Qi, you should choose for yourself. Qin Fen chose to respect Qi Longxing's thoughts. Qi Longxing seemed to realize that Qin Fen didn't really like this beauty contest, but he didn't understand why. Forget it. Since Brother Qin doesn't want to choose beauties, then I won't choose either. Qi Longxing sighed. Qin Fen patted his shoulder. He knew that Qi Longxing was only doing this out of consideration for his feelings. Since the two of them didn't want to choose beauties, Qin Fen decided to find an inn in the high sea city. Even though the high sea city was only 100 miles away from the 3 northern islands, Qin Fen believed that he would be instantly killed the moment he left the high sea city. He wouldn't even be able to escape from the 3 northern islands. Right now, the safest place was the high sea city. Qin Fen had to think of a way to escape. However, just as he was about to turn and leave, his gaze suddenly fell on a woman standing on the far left of the thousands of beauties on the stage. The woman stood in the corner of the crowd with a gloomy expression. It was as if she was in a different world from the noisy crowd. Her hair was tied up in a bun on top of her head. Even with her bangs combed back, she was still a beauty. Li Shanshan. Qin Fen murmured. The lonely and helpless woman standing in the crowd looked very much like Li Shanshan. However, Qinfen didn't expect to see Li Shanshan on the South Flat Continent's green island. "Brother Qin, is there a beauty on the stage that you know?" Qi Longxing asked. Qinfen's gaze fell on the woman, but he didn't dare to confirm it. Logically speaking, Li Shanshan should be studying in the Acropolis city. She should have graduated and started working by now. Why would she appear on the divine mainland? Did she also go to the teleportation array? Thousands of thoughts rushed into Qinfen's mind, and he was momentarily confused. Back when they were still in the Acropolis City University, the divine doctor of traditional Chinese medicine, Li Xingtian, entrusted the little girl to him for the rest of her life. His warning seemed to still ring in his ears. However, it had been many years since then, and the distance between them was a whole realm. "Brother Qi, if you like the woman on the stage, how do you bid?" Qinfen asked immediately. Even if he couldn't confirm whether the woman was Li Shanshan or not, he had to get her first. Qi Longxing didn't know what was going on. He smiled evilly and said, "I really thought Brother Qin didn't like women. I didn't expect you to be so polite with me." Qinfen rolled his eyes. "I feel that the woman on the stage is very similar to an old friend of mine. I can't let her become someone else's plaything." Qi Longxing stopped smiling. He had never seen Qinfen so flustered in the days he knew him. Even when Vasily appeared earlier, Qinfen was calm and composed. Qi Longxing immediately realized that the woman on the stage had a close relationship with Qinfen. She might even be Qinfen's female companion. If that was the case, Qi Longxing would definitely help Qinfen snatch her away. "Brother Qin, don't worry. There will be a bidding session later. Every woman will bid individually. When it's time to bid for Brother Qin's friend, we'll just have to spend some money to buy her." As he spoke, Qi Longxing took out a storage ring and threw it to Qinfen. "All my belongings are in there. Brother Qin, feel free to use it." Qinfen didn't lack money, but he wasn't sure whether spirit stones or other resources would be used in the auction. After all, the high sea city was within Grey Island's territory. Yao cultivators were prevalent here. If sea stones or crystals were used as a bargaining chip, then Qinfen really didn't know what to do. When he used his spiritual sense to scan the storage ring that Qi Longxing handed over, he heaved a sigh of relief. There were 50 million high-grade spirit stones in the storage ring. This meant that the main bargaining chip for the auction was spirit stones. "Brother Qi, don't worry. I still have some spirit stones. I believe there won't be a problem bidding." Qinfen returned the storage ring. Qi Longxing said with a straight face, "Brother Qin, are you complaining that you don't have enough spirit stones? Or do you not see me, Qi Longxing, as a brother? Now that your friend has been captured and auctioned, how can I just stand by and watch?" Qinfen felt a surge of warmth in his heart. In reality, 50 million spirit stones wasn't a lot. The bottle of spiritual fragrance pills he gave to Yu Jiao half a month ago had already exceeded this price. However, Qinfen also knew that this 50 million spirit stones was all Qi Longxing had. Qi Longxing had taken it all out without hesitation. You're tuning into the LoveLore Library YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.